Boston's going to go down.
Well, eventually it will.
Well,
It's going to be a while. Actually, all in all, eventually it'll go up even further.
we're up.
But his idea was the tax cuts are already in and everything, but I totally disagree with that. They're not in yet.
What does the bill say? Is it 19?
21%.
No. In 2019, is it going to go?
18.
It will. It is.
Yeah, it's well, you know, it's not retro. That sucks. In fact, I'm better off. I'm hoping the building and some other stuff don't close till next year, because it'll make a big difference.
Thank you. Is that, I don't know who that was. Thanks, appreciate it.
In the meantime, Jeff, air travelers dealing with lingering cancellations and delays today after a power outage yesterday.
Mark, I might have to go downstairs and re-email some spots. I thought I did them, but I mean I did them. I just didn't attach them to this email, so I'm going to see if I can get them online here. I think I can. I just didn't get them online and attach them. I don't know what to do.
All due to a fire knocking out a power substation and the fail safes to provide backup. 1,400 flights were canceled or delayed Sunday.
I'd be so upset if I was in that airport. Oh,
Atlanta?
oh my goodness. The largest airport.
It is. I didn't know that. Largest, busiest airport in the world.
How do you not have a backup generator that works? It is unbelievable. Our infrastructure sucks in this country.
Atlanta's the biggest airport?
Yeah,
The busiest airport in the world.
Wow.
if they don't put money into this infrastructure, we are going to fall behind Mexico. You see some of these airports overseas, they're absolutely gorgeous. As modern as you can get.
Yeah, like
and we're
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai is probably the nicest in the world.
Yeah, my wife flew through Dubai on her way to Zimbabwe, and she said it was just unreal.
Probably didn't want to leave.
The airport.
Yeah, she said it was like a city.
You ever Google Earth? Go to Dubai and check it out.
Yeah.
They got those wild-looking man-made islands out there.
Yeah, with the palm kind of theme going. Yeah, it's wild.
They built these high-rises on these
It's fun.
man-made islands.
Country to visit. Did you visit?
I've never been, no, but I'd love to.
It's probably the only place in the Middle East I feel comfortable, honestly.
Exactly.
I don't
Been
think
there, Mark?
No, I have not. I'm not so sure I would go there, but all the Middle East, that would probably be it.
That's more European than it is Middle East.
Still, it's that
It
way.
really is. Technically, culture-wise, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but they still, you know, they still pray 3 times a day, and there's a lot. I mean, it's a little different.
It's 4 times.
I mean, can women wear? Do they have to have?
No, they're pretty loose over there about that.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do they have bars?
I heard they're more American than American.
Yeah.
They most definitely know how to party there.
I heard they're more American than American.
They got indoor ski slopes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
They do everything big. Big and bad.
Also on my referrals.com. If you're thinking about new windows for your home, there are 3 things you should look for. First, a good quality window. Affordable price. Finally, a company.
Would you talk to Ross about stuff?
Say that again, sir.
What'd you talk to Ross about?
We just talked tax. That's it. And how for the first time in the world, how the Democrats care about the.
Oh, good.
It's absolutely amazing. The people that give everything out for free, the people of Bernie Sanders now care about the deficit.
Because they have nothing else to say.
Well, we understand everybody's going to get a tax break, but the deficit, you know.
Who cares?
When Bernie wanted to give out free pizza on Fridays, it was all good.
What? Free pizza on Friday?
And movies.
I would have voted for it.
Free movies and pizza for all college students.
I didn't know that.
This holiday season, make the smart choice and switch to
I didn't either. I would have voted for
You
it.
would have voted for it.
You would have went
You'd have been on board.
Gone back to free college.
He started with hot dogs. Everybody said, no, we can get hot dogs on our own. And he bumped it to pizza.
And then to college. Quite a leap.
Well, yeah, then free college. Plus, we'll get rid of your student loans you already have. And we'll charge the billionaires for it.
Billionaires, the billionaires.
The evil billionaires.
Did you see that
I
one
never knew how
billionaire
evil
that
they were
got
until he got
murder
until
suicide?
he started running.
Yeah, like Bill Gates, the evil man.
I
They
never
gave
knew
$100
how-
billion to.
I never knew how evil
Every country in
those
the world.
billionaires were until he started running for office. Oh my God.
Dan, you voted for Hillary.
Listen, I've never voted Democrat.
I have.
President, I know you have, several
I
times.
voted Obama twice. Clinton.
Okay, enough said. What?
I think I even voted for
Yes,
Gore.
I know, I feel a little less.
That's very. When he first met me.
Appreciate you being around. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. How can we help you? Oh, I ask that every day. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have two guests with us today from the referral list. You know we never have a single topic show, but we have experts anyway, and they come in not just to share their expertise, but to chime in on the show. But we have a new referral list member. This is the second of his kind on our referral list. We have Freddie is on there. Freddie's injured and a little out of commission. Then we're bringing on someone new. Mark, explain the significance of Matthew Stanford, Paragon Services, to our public.
I call it free money, and I mean free money.
Because
well,
if
you've had
run out of ways to explain the benefit.
If you live in Lakewood, you live in Colorado Springs, and you were hit by one of these hailstorms.
There's no downside to his service.
Zero. And let's say your claim was $10,000. They put a new roof on. It's been 6 months. It's been a year and a half. You can call this guy up. He will come out. And I'll say it, he's going to disagree a little because I'm sure there's cases where you don't, but he's going to find more damage and get you a check from your insurance company without opening a new claim and without any penalties. He's going to basically get you, most of the time I know Freddie, our other one, gets double. If you had a $10,000 roof put on, this guy will come out, he'll find the siding, the windows, the skylights, the decking, the paint, everything the adjuster didn't want to pay you for, he'll find.
Here's something I want to say.
Free money.
What people do not understand, and this is a secret, it really is, the insurance industry will never, now listen to what I just said, and I defy anyone to come on the air and prove differently. Insurance companies are set up to never, ever, ever offer full damages first time out. In fact, they will never offer full damages unless they are fought. Now, you may think, oh, no, Tom, they wrote me a check on the spot for a roof. They wrote me a spot on the check for some damages I had on my porch, my deck. Yeah, they did. But you will never, ever get 100% of the damages you've incurred, ever. And I mean never. Is that something safe to say, Matt, public adjuster Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we try to throw in the mailbox, the doghouse, the driveway, whatever we can. But you know, at the end of the day, we want what's fair.
What's right?
Well, and
what they contracted for.
And what is insurance? We all have to have it. It's a safety net, okay? And when we have damage to our property, whether it's your home or your business or your car, You want to be made whole again.
That's what it's for.
Exactly. And so what the insurance industry has done is found ways to turn claim centers into profit centers.
Okay, now here's the deal. There are staff adjusters who work for insurance companies, and they'll go out to your house, and they work for the company. Now, their job is to find damage and to reduce it. They're called adjusters. And I've said this once before. Have they ever adjusted up? No. They're adjusters, meaning they adjust downward. Then there are independent adjusters. This is the most dirty trick ever played, where a guy comes to your house and says, I'm here for Farmers or for Allstate or for American Family, for anyone. I don't work for them. I'm an independent adjuster. Then you think, oh, good, I'm going to get a fair claim. They're independent only because there's so much damage they can't, all of the staff is busy, and they have to hire independent adjusters in addition to their staff, but they still represent the interests of the insurance company. When the insurance company shows up at your home, you are not their client. Their stockholders are their clients. You need to understand this. In insurance, you are not the client. You're the client of the broker who sells you the insurance, or the salesperson who sells you the insurance, not a client of the insurance company. Never. The client, the one that they have a contractual obligation to,
is
in their mind, are stockholders. People who buy stocks in insurance companies, not their insured.
And they're a for-profit business. It should be that way.
Yes. But it should be done fairly, and it's not. So we're changing the game. And in more ways than you want to know. Right now what we absolutely have a way that we're changing it with public adjusters. If you know, now I'm not sure, I didn't even ask Matt how he works, but Freddie would do it two ways. If you want to get Freddie involved in the beginning, he'll go out and he'll take 20% of whatever he collects. And he will usually collect twice as much as you ever will. At least 30% more, if not. Here's the other deal. If you want to go and get your initial best offer, then he will come out, and whatever he increases, he takes 20% of what he increases.
Yeah,
10% in the beginning.
That's
I don't know.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
He'll take 10% if you get him involved in the beginning. If you want to go get your best offer and then get him involved, he'll take 20% of only the addition. But in either case, it is a no-lose situation, bar none.
We had one, $800 to $80,000.
800.
I got that beat. I had one that was at 0, and I got him 140 grand. That was at church. Okay, and that one, the guy came out. He was an independent guy from Oklahoma, Alabama.
Who was he working for?
I believe this one was a State Farmer.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was working, air quotes, for State Farm, but he was actually, you know, he had a State Farm polo shirt on. That's about it. He comes out and he says, "Oh, no damage. This is wear and tear." I hear that all the time. So I go out there and I go, "Okay, well, let's see." You know, I'm an unbiased third party. I go up there and the thing was blasted. I mean, it looked like Swiss cheese up there. Ray Charles could have seen it. It's ridiculous. I mean, this should have been paid for. So 2 weeks later, the insurance company goes, "Yeah, what do you need? Well, where do we send the check?"
Your phone will explode. Freddie could not keep up with it.
Once they accept coverage, or once they accept liability, that's when the floodgates open. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Once they say, yes, this event happened in that roof, yes, there is damage on that roof, if that hail caused damage anywhere else on the property, they owe you for that.
Mark, so we have Paragon Services here. Then we have Freddie's. Is Freddie still working or not?
Freddie is down for the count right now. Hopefully he's back in the game soon.
Okay. So then we'll have two public adjusters. We are growing a network of public adjusters because there is no way you, as a consumer, can lose.
See, there should be public adjusters for cars as well, but the problem is there's not enough money. They'd never make any money to feed the family. Right. But people get screwed on cars all the time.
Right. Now, I want to go to someone who's held. We also have Bob Logan from Plumline Services, but I need to go to this guy because he held patiently on Friday and did not get on. What's going on, Don?
How you doing, Tom? Good
I'm
morning.
doing good, man. What's happening?
Hey, I know you've brought this up on your show many times on the Aurora's photo radar. A couple months ago, I got my picture taken at Alameda and Chambers.
Yes.
And I got the picture, in the mail and the fine and whatnot.
So what's your question?
Well, last week I got a demand letter, demanding payment and saying that they're going to forward it to collections.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, well, first of all, it's an accusation. It's not a conviction. And what they will do is they claim you owe it, and they'll send it to collections who will claim you owe it. But you can still fight it. It's not a foregone conclusion. So you can fight it.
And if they ended up putting it on your credit report, then I turn around and sue that agency.
Right. You can sue for that.
Just in small claims.
Because it's not a credit issue. So, Don, here's what I tell people. Unless you're subpoenaed to go to court, it's an accusation.
Or served.
That's what I meant, yeah. If you're served to go to court, then you have to show up.
I think there's a few municipalities
but you can settle even that.
where registered mail would count, though.
Yeah,
but either way, show up.
A few municipalities have decriminalized it on purpose to make it registered mail.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, you can say, as far as I'm concerned, this is just an accusation. It hasn't been proven that I owe it. That's all. Or ignore it.
And, Don, if it makes you feel better, I know someone, I won't say who it is, nor how close they are to me right now, that has a stack of them.
Hello, he's talking about me. I have ignored every one of them. First of all, some of them are downright stupid because it happens every time. I go up on Bellevue, and I'm taking a right, and I stop a little over the line, then I take a right, flashes me. Now I smile and wave.
Tom, do what I do. Just wear sunglasses and put your visor down.
Yeah. You know what? If they can't identify you, that's another thing. They can't compel you to testify who you are.
Or, if they say, hey, who is that in the car? You don't have to tell them.
Right. Listen, there are all kinds of things you can do, sir. But bottom line, ignore it until you're summoned. It's nothing until you're summoned. They don't want you to know that, but it's the truth.
In a lot of states, it's illegal. They don't do it.
That's true. This Christmas offer for Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has gone so well, we are simply exploding. That means that I have 10 more slots today. It's 10 at a time. Now, I can't promise you there'll be 10 more tomorrow or 10 the next day. We're doing them in groups of 10 because if they get more people than they have hearing aids, they don't want to turn people away. So they ask the manufacturer for 10 at a time. Here's why. Because they want to give $1,000 off these smart new hearing aids that communicate with your smartphone. They work for tinnitus. They mask and help with tinnitus. They also help with hearing loss. And you can get them with a $1,000 discount. That's a true discount off their already low price. A true discount. All you have to do is call for an evaluation. Be one of these 10 callers. If you're put in line for an evaluation with a $1,000 discount, you are not obligated to buy. It's just there if you want it. 303-534-0163. Remember, you'll be one of 10 today. 303-534-0163. I think we've done 30 of them so far. 303-534-0163.
From the
Since 2010.
What banks are you in right now?
I started as Texas, the Hurricane Ike.
how's it doing?
That was a
Are we up?
Yeah, it was good.
What's good about here
I
is
mean, I would assume the whole sector.
And you can go back 2 years.
2 to 3 months.
We got to tell people first, and then it just goes back.
Yeah.
Up another $1.31.
What does Costco cost?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I bought that at like $1.54.
first time situation I had, because I had my
So far?
replaced. It's been about 5 or 6 years.
You didn't sell it, did you? Did you buy it after that earnings?
After everything was
Shitty
Oh,
shut
no.
I was doing a
I
walk
bought it
down and I noticed
after
all the windows in the
it
back
came down and stuff.
got busted. So I called them back and they said, well, the kid's been closed. If you want to open another case, you can open another case.
Well, hold on. They said it was closed. And how long had it been?
Because
LLS.
it's been maybe probably a month or two.
Well, it's
after.
not WFC for 2 years.
It can
And it's not
reopen,
another
so-
deductible either.
Reopen
If
the
they tell
claim.
you that, you give them to me.
Yeah. I mean, this is like I said, it's been 5 or 6 years now. But
They'll reopen the claim if you ask them to. They have to. They just rely on you not knowing. You know?
Yeah, you have 2 years, man, in most cases.
In Colorado, you definitely have 2 years.
Yeah.
All the money's in that commercial stuff, though.
You gotta mention the retroactive stuff. You gotta mention.
Are you a homeowner who's tired of paying mortgage insurance? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at America.
There's that one mall still closed, I think.
From hail?
Yeah, I mean, that's remarkable.
So I got my car.
Yeah.
Listen, for the hell of it, Mark, I put my car in Craigslist. Yeah. I got my first scam email.
Oh, let me guess, they'll send a truck to your house.
No, they said, oh, we've been trying to get in touch with you. We'd like to communicate you outside of this. So I sent them an email from my real email address saying, okay, go ahead. And I know they looked at my name and my email and said, oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Because they were really hot. They said, oh, we need to talk to you right away. We have a buyer. Okay, sure. And I gave them my number.
So why not see what they can do for you?
I put it on Blinker and on Craigslist.
So start saving as much as $1,000.
Because I don't care.
Are you really selling it, or you were just?
No, I really am. Because it's extra. It literally, you know what? Literally, if you get right down to it, I inherited it.
Okay.
I don't really have a dime in it, so I can let it go.
You don't have any skin in the game, possibly.
I don't really. Not really. If you count divorce inheritance, I mean,
Right.
it's brand new.
what are you selling?
It's a Mercedes S550, the big Mac Daddy sedan loaded. It's a 16, but only is $12,000. It's brand new. So I'm literally wholesaling it. I can't get an offer. I was trying to get a little more than wholesale, but I don't think I will. I might just have to give it to a wholesaler. I was trying to get.
That's tough, man. Especially that echelon of automobile.
People can get it financed through Blinker. I mean, so it offers them everything. It's a new car. I mean, if anyone was going to buy a car like that anyway, they would be that car top that 120 win sticker. To replace that car would be 120.
Wow.
If you know anybody looking for a new Mercedes,
yeah, that sounds pretty mint.
What are you asking for?
Well, I was asking. I didn't even get a call asking 78. Didn't even get a call. I mean, anyone who knows Mercedes would know that 12,000 miles ago, that was $120,000. Yeah, but it's sitting there, and every year it sits there, it's going to go down $20,000.
Absolutely.
If you wait like 30 years, then it's start going up.
No, you know what? We eventually, Stephanie and I thought, we'll just keep it forever. We'll always have a nice sedan. But I literally, it's a chore. I got to keep it serviced and driving, and I got to keep it registered, and I got to keep it insured. I thought it would be nice to have a spare car. It's not. It's just a waste.
Do you got extra garage space for all your cars?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, but that's not the issue. I know I have the hangar too, but it's just not. It's just a waste. It's as my mother would say, it's a sin, Tom. She would always drum that in my head if I had something I wasn't using. But if you didn't have an Italian mother, you don't know that. It's a sin. If I didn't finish my dinner, it's a sin.
What's that one organ you don't use?
Tonsils.
Oh,
that's the appendix, yeah.
No, that's not an organ, though. Appendix is not technically an organ.
But isn't there like no use for them?
Right. Nowadays.
Well, what back?
Hi. Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Bob Logan is with us from Plumline Services. Okay, Bob, give us a message. We're going to go to the phones. You got a message?
I got some great messages.
What? Make them real.
First of all, this weekend we're going to drop down to the teens. And so if you have not had your furnace tuned up yet, give us a call. $29. A comprehensive 22-point inspection will come out, make sure it's running safely and with the manufacturer specs. But also, we got some
for $29. Okay,
for $29.
And then you got great. Obviously, people, you know why they do this, right? They can't make money at $29. They want to get in your home in the hopes that if you do need a furnace, that you will consider them. Let's face it, this is a good thing.
That's true, and not only that, we want to show you what an exceptional service we do provide, so that down the road, whether it's a furnace or a water heater or electrical or anything that goes on, hopefully you found a company that you can rely on. And then we also have, right now, we got if you buy an air conditioner, we have a free furnace offer. A free furnace for the purchase of an air conditioner. You do have to pay for the installation, but the furnace is free.
Okay. And if you don't want it, they'll give you the credit. Didn't you do that last time? You gave them a credit, I thought, if they didn't take the furnace?
Well,
or do they have to take them
We
both?
got other specials on the individual items.
All right.
But that ends pretty quick here, so with the tax
And that's
rebates,
a carrier furnace, right?
That is a carrier furnace,
All
yes.
right. The reason I say that, and I don't mean to put down others, but there are some generic furnaces, I call them, that people do that with, and this is not a generic furnace.
No, this is carrier's top notch.
Okay, Tricia, this is, by the way, quickly becoming a big problem. Hold on, Aaliyah, I hit your line by mistake. Tricia, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hi. Tricia, we're hearing from people now about this. Explain what happened.
I've been investing in a bridge loan because I thought it was a safe investment. I've done it for about a little over 2 years.
Now, a bridge loan, meaning, explain what you did. If someone said to you, we have an investment for you, and you, to invest in it, you had to buy this note. Is that right?
Right. You had to have a minimum $50,000, and you gave them the money, and they sent all the paperwork.
Now, I've sent people to jail for selling promissory notes that are bogus. What it is, like, and by the way, having promissory notes is not a bad idea for an investment if you know what you're doing. Mark and I hold a promissory note. We hold more than one. But Mark, it's a real deal, and we run it through a real processor.
Well, not only that, we actually attach it. I mean, in other words, we have a stake in the property.
Right.
We actually file.
Yeah, so we are literally lenders of record. Did you get this promissory note with the paper alone, or was it attached, and did you get security like a piece of property?
I don't think they're on deed. That's the problem with this Woodbridge. These guys, I think, were totally okie-dokie in these guys.
So, Tricia, is that so? You have a promissory note for how much?
$75,000.
And who is promising to pay it?
Woodbridge.
Oh, so you just gave a note, or they gave you a note, and they're just an LLC, right?
Right.
See, that's worth nothing. Was it secured by anything?
No, I don't know. It said that we were always in first position. Should
but a first position on what? I can put you right now, Tricia. Let me give you an idea. I have an LLC called Tom Martino Consulting. Okay. I could say to you, Tricia, I will pay you 10% interest on a loan. You give me $1 million. Listen carefully. I want you to know this. So I take that $1 million, and I now take Tom Martino LLC, and I go out and buy stuff, and I pay myself a salary, but I'm not getting any business. I put a shingle up, Tom Martino Consulting. Nobody's calling me, and I can't make my payments. I bankrupt or shut down Tom Martino LLC. You can't come after me. Oh, well, you would if it was fraud, but that's the problem. Who is Woodbridge? Who do we go after for fraud? What is their situation? Who has been somebody's been working on this. Was it Deputy Clinters?
Yeah, it's bad, though. I mean, it's really bad. They're trying to restructure.
Don't they have millions upon millions of debt?
I'll look it up again, but I'm guessing over $100 million.
See, Tricia, they've ripped off people. When they said you were doing a promissory note, what did they say it was secured by? You claim you're in first position, but first position on what? On a home, on a building, on what?
Well, it's each time it's different. You do it for a year at a time.
But what is it on now?
It's a different property. Right now, it's on a piece of land in Florida.
Do you have what's called a mortgage or a deed of trust?
I have on my cancellation of my prior promissory note, that one ended, and then I have that cancellation, and it said that they moved my money for the rest of that year term to a different property.
So you don't even know that one was real. So what I mean, I'm asking again. You have two instruments in...
I was way off, by the way.
Two instruments in a legit loan. You have the note, which specifies the amount owed and how it will be paid. Then you have the security instrument, which in Colorado is called a deed of trust. In other states, it's called a mortgage. It can also be a collateral agreement on an airplane, a boat, a car. What do you have the note?
Okay, this one, what I have in front of me is the one that was canceled, and then my money went.
No,
to
I don't care about the canceled one. I care about the living note. What security agreement do you have?
I don't have that. All I have in front of me is it says it's security by the collateral assignment documents upon execution.
Where are the collateral assignment docs?
That I don't know.
Mark, you said you were way under.
Yeah, $750 million is what they're trying to
restructure. They are almost $1 billion.
Yeah, you can't even, first of all, you can't even attempt to collect from them right now because they're literally in bankruptcy.
Tricia?
But what I'm wondering is, if in a Chapter 11, do you eventually get your money, or am I out of the money?
You'll have a small voting privilege, but yours is going to be next to nothing at $75,000.
Yeah, let's put it this way, Trish. People get pennies. Literally.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
pennies.
So do I need an attorney, or for pennies I don't need anything?
The chances are they're not going to be able to prove to the judge that they can restructure that kind of debt and pay it and survive.
Technically, your attorney is the trustee. He's not personally your attorney, but the trustee, contact the trustee and see, and if you have to fill out any forms, okay? Did you know they were in bankruptcy?
I just got a thing about a week ago.
I feel so badly for you. How long have you been investing with them?
A little over 2 years.
This is like a Bernie Madoff, just so you know. They never really paid. No, they never really paid anyone off. I think people might go to jail in this.
I would think so.
I hope so.
So basically, what happens is you give them $75,000 or $100,000. They sit there and pay you that interest each month. Usually a crazy amount of interest, 10%, whatever it is, but your principal is no longer there. What they hope is you stay with them for 10 years and they never have to pay anybody any principal back.
Here's a good time to tell you about a real investment, and I'm really serious now. This investment is one of the best I've seen. And in fact, I've asked people to email me or to call me if they find anything wrong with it. I do my diligence when I endorse something. I really do. I looked at Joe Chiano and Become the Banker program for at least 4 or 5 years. I did it myself, applied for it, and I decided, and I had some friends, they wanted to do it, and I decided it was time. Mark and I talked about it. Mark tried to find holes in it. Have you found any holes in it, Mark, at all?
No.
This is an investment for everyone. It's so solid. I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? It is not normal life insurance, and the purpose is not to have life insurance. That's just an added benefit. But listen to how it works quickly. You buy a life insurance policy, and because you have this special whole life policy, the government allows you to put money into it above and beyond the premium. And that becomes cash value that grows tax-free. The government allows this because they want to encourage people to have their own insurance instead of depending on the government. You can overfund this to a certain amount. The government allows you to put in a certain amount based on the life proceeds. Then you can borrow from it in a few days after you put the money in. So if you put a chunk of money in and want to buy a car, instead of using a credit card or a car loan, you can literally draw it out of this account. And then instead of paying back a bank, you make your own car payment to your own account. And the interest you pay also goes into your account as more money that you're sheltering. The idea is to shelter as much money as possible because it is growing tax-free. And you can borrow from it as many times as you want and pay it back. But then you come a time in your life at 50 or 60 where you borrow monthly and you do not pay it back. It becomes your paycheck in addition to your other retirement stuff. And you never pay it back and you don't pay taxes on it. So you're going to say, well, what happens to all these loans when I die? The life insurance policy pays off the loans. There it is in a nutshell. Go look at the video, becomethebanker.info. If you don't believe this is one of the best concepts around, and Just do it and let me know what you think. He has seminars you can sign up for there. BecomeTheBanker.info to ask all your questions. Or you can talk to someone directly at 303-779-6600. Again, 303-779-6600. This is not a life insurance sales job. This is not a hokey dokey get rich quick. This is a solid retirement plan, and it's not qualified, which means the money you put in, you don't deduct that money, but all the money in it grows tax-free. 303-779-6600.
That is one of the best things that ever was invented.
The money that you're putting in, you've already paid taxes on.
Yeah, it's after-tax dollars, so kind of similar to like a Roth IRA account.
Except that you can borrow from it.
And before you're 59 or whatever, there's no age limit.
No age. When you borrow
Mercy, please.
The idea, everyone has a car payment. I mean, but if you have this chunk of cash and pay for a car, you make that car payment to yourself. Not only now are you sheltering the money that you put in, you're sheltering more money, the interest you're putting in. You actually, it's better to borrow from yourself, and that gets to shelter more money. You actually build up more money by borrowing from yourself.
The only downside I see is you're not building any credit. But if you have a mortgage, you know, then you probably
you're not building credit.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Oh, you would love it. It's great for
because I do have a Roth IRA.
Hey, Mercy, Mark Major. Hey, give me a call, please. 720-841-6890. It's regarding the order we had.
The government has what's called NEC.
5707243. Thanks, Mike.
The government says, oh, no, we're not letting you have that much. Yeah. It's like your life insurance policy isn't big enough for that. They think, you know, so it's
the ratios are off.
That's right. Yeah. It's a ratio. But if you can get the ratio, and you got
how long has this been around?
God. Okay, during the Depression, a lot of these bankers did not go broke because they weren't in the stock market. They were in this. And
the 08? 08? Or you mean the real,
no,
the Great Depression?
The Great Depression.
Wow.
The Rothschilds and stuff. These guys had overfunded life insurance policies. It's really been around for 100 years. I mean, it has. It's a remarkable tool.
Who determines the interest rates you pay when you borrow?
That's interesting because you can't, like I would say, well, can I pay myself 20%? It has to be justified within the range for your credit and the market. So right now, you can get away.
But I don't understand how that's helping you because you're the one paying yourself the interest. So there's no gain. You're just pulling it from one account to another.
Yeah, but the account you're putting it in is tax-free. You're taking money that you earn that if you keep is going to be taxed, and if you put it in the bank and grows, it's going to be taxed. If you buy stocks and make a profit, it's going to be taxed. No matter what you do, it's going to be taxed. But if you put it in there,
but it's only going to be taxed on the gain.
No.
And if you put it over here, there's no.
You'll never be taxed on anything. If you put the 8, let's say you
it's like a Roth.
If you pay yourself 8% interest on a car loan, okay, let's say the finances on the car is 30 grand, and you pay 15 in interest or 10 in interest. That 10 now is growing tax free. Where would that 10 go if you paid a car loan?
But that's. Well, I understand you'd be paying the interest there, but you're paying taxes on that 10 when you earn it.
No, you're not. No. Oh, yeah, when you earn. Well, hold on. No. Yeah, that's right. You're paying taxes when you earn it. That's right. And then when you pay yourself that 10, it grows tax-free.
It grows tax-free.
Just like a Roth.
But how is it growing?
It's growing because that money pays guaranteed dividends and returns. I never mentioned. It grows in there.
Got it. Okay, that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, I thought it was like a savings account.
No, it's an investment account that grows.
What's your email?
Tax-free.
Got it. Okay.
But it's only guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
Yeah,
You can't lose either. It's guaranteed 4% plus dividends on there. So it pays 6 to 7 tax free.
PARA.
It can pay more, but only with dividends. The interest rate is capped.
Services.
But you also don't go down. And it's never missed
$100,000.
Never missed
this is the banner that comes up underneath you. You're actually sitting over there.
Make sure you call this person right after the show.
No, we will put that on there, but this is
This
it's on radio.
what it says.
Right.
It's a fourplex.
So I really do think you need to get a 17.
Time. I wish there was a way we could really, really drill into them and ask them.
Only on Denver Talk Station, 630
It's huge.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Plumbline Services in the house, talking about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Also,
the house talking about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Also, Matthew, Paragon Services, a public adjuster. So that's about your house too. We're talking all about the house and damages or maintenance or repair. And I think if you want to get your furnace checked before cold weather, $29. They have this multi-service check, $29 with their no breakdown guarantee as well, and they'll give you a full written report on your furnace. Also,
Tom, I can tell you what's going to happen right now. People are going to wait until this weekend when it's in the teens.
I know.
Everything's going to start breaking.
And then
get it done before it breaks.
Speaking of saving money, Simply Floors, we engage with people that we love with the way they do business, and Simply Floors is another one, okay? Because, like we told you, public adjusters, no downside at all. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing! And with Simply Floors, the same thing. You will save 30%, in my opinion, minimum, because we haven't found anything less than that. You can save as much as 40%. That's over the big box stores for floors. He has designer services available. He has a big showroom at 52nd and Ward. You can go there, 52nd and Ward, look around. Every kind of floor covering you can find in the big box, you'll find there. All the luxury vinyl tile and the action traction waterproof vinyl tile, the new carpeting, all the carpets. Here's the deal, okay? You call, they'll send someone out to your house, or what you do is go to simplyfloorsinc.com and make your own appointment. Simply Floors Inc. INC. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Make an appointment. They'll send someone out, and if you like what you see, you can visit 52nd and Ward. They'll even have a designer help you coordinate everything, and that's a true designer, not just someone to help you pick colors. Simplyfloorsinc.com. All right, John Fuller, Fuller Law, is going to help us with a personal injury question we have here. This is one of many questions we get like this, and let's talk to Sam. Sam, are you there? Sam.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Sam, talk about this, because I think this is very interesting, John Fuller. Sam, I remember some of it. You were doing work for a woman, is that right?
No, I'm working for a guy. He's in East India.
Okay, Sam, too much information. Sam, let me just ask quickly. Were you working directly for the homeowner, or were you working for this guy that got the job?
No, I'm working for the son of the homeowner.
Right, that's what I mean. So you were working directly for these homeowners, right? You were working on that house, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, John Fuller, we've had attorneys warn us, hey, if you have people work at your house, you could get in trouble if they get injured. That's why you should make sure they have workers' compensation or other insurance. Sam fell down off a ladder while working on this house. So, Sam, I want to ask you another quick question. Did the homeowner in any way contribute to this injury? Or did he help cause it in any way? Did he come out and rattle the ladder? Or did something on the house break? Or did he do something?
I woke up again as Swedish. I didn't know.
Okay. You don't know how it happened. You were on the ladder. What were you doing on the ladder?
I was trying to cut the tree.
Okay.
As I was hired.
And you were hired to cut the trees. You were up on the ladder, fell. Was it your ladder or was it their ladder?
My ladder.
Okay. What do you think, John Fuller? Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Tom. You know, this is one of those classic deals where if there was a traditional statutory business relationship or employer-employee relationship, we'd look to work comp for coverage here, but it sounds like this gentleman was working really more as an independent contractor, using his own tools and working on his own. And
if he does that, though, can the homeowner be responsible or not?
Well, only if you had the traditional elements of a premises liability case, meaning that there had to be an unreasonably dangerous condition on the property that the landowner knew about or should have known about. And so, using his own ladder, I think that's going to be incredibly difficult to establish. So in all likelihood, this is one of those cases where there just wouldn't be any coverage.
You see, John, I don't know why a lot of people say if you hire someone to mow your lawn or to do work around your house and they are not with a company with workers' comp, you could be in trouble. Why do they tell me that?
Well, you know, Tom, I don't do a lot of workers' comp.
Yeah.
So that's out of my area of expertise. But you know, if it could be established that the guy was in fact an employee and not an independent contractor, then you know, you could make the argument that the employer, the landowner, would fall under the comp statute.
You're right. That's like having a regular housekeeper or having a regular lawn maintenance guy, and he doesn't do it for anyone else. It could be.
John, how about if it was the homeowner's ladder? I'm curious how you'd look at it then.
Well, then I would really look hard at the, you know, whether we had a dangerous condition, meaning is there something wrong with the ladder? Was it not maintained properly? Was it, you know, was there something wrong? Was it missing a foot on it or something like that? I mean, there's a myriad of circumstances that could make it unreasonably dangerous. We just don't have enough facts here to know whether that was the case. But since this caller is dealing with his own material, that makes him or his own tools, his own ladder, that makes it even more likely that any court would find this guy to be an independent contractor, which means we completely eliminate any analysis of the employee relationship under work comp.
It really doesn't look good here. Now, were you working with someone else? Were you hired by anyone else, or was this just your own deal?
I was hired with many people, but I never have any accident until this one.
I know, but when you say you were hired, like when you were done with, were you on this job with someone else? Is what I'm asking. Were you with a company of some kind?
Yes.
What do you mean? Did someone else find this job for you?
No, it's
the homeowner's son.
The homeowner's son. Okay. I thought, because here's the deal. Suzanne, maybe you can discern it off the air. But if the homeowner's son is in business doing this for other homes, and Sam goes with him from home to home, and they just happen to be at this guy's father's home, that's a different story. Then the employer or the guy that has him working for him could be responsible. John Fuller, Fuller Law for personal injury, 303-597-4500, 597-4500. You always hear me joke, I hope you never need him. But if you do, you'll love it. And here's the other thing. I hope you never need Joe Lazzara, who's a criminal defense attorney. And that's because Joe Lazzara usually deals with DUIs, DWAIs. Oh, what's that? Yeah, that's something where you think, I'm not drunk, but you're just enough that you can get in trouble. And there's virtually no difference on the impact it has in your life. Don't try to calculate how much you have to drink. Just don't drink and drive. Now, some people think, oh, I'm innocent, it doesn't matter. You need an attorney whether you're innocent, whether you're guilty, whether it was a mistake, whether it was on purpose. It doesn't matter. This system is too complicated. A DUI will turn you upside down. 303-429-6200. Joe can make sense of it and take care of it. I hope you don't need him. Spread the word. 303-429-6200.
Matt, are there any insurance companies that stand out as being better?
Without question, yes. So
look at your email real quick from me.
Amica's the best by far, from my experience. American Family's the worst in Colorado. That's not true in Texas. State Farm's by far the worst in Texas. Yeah, Amica's the best up here.
Oh, here. Could you give me a quick 1, 2, 3?
Houston. Well, I grew up in Missouri, but I lived in Houston, went to college down there, and that was just
I'm sorry, say it again.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Why not get them something they love? A Panera Bread gift card. For every $50 in gift cards purchased, get a $10 bonus card for yourself. Visit your local bakery cafe for more details.
When it comes to kitchen countertops and cabinets, you're flooded with choices. My recommendation is but one choice.
Well, I met my girlfriend in Texas, and then she got transferred here, and I thought there's hailstorms in Colorado. My girlfriend's there. I've always visited here, gone skiing and fishing and everything, so it just fit. And I've been here for a while, and it's been great. Right when I got here, the next week was the biggest hailstorm in Colorado Springs history. So.
Right.
That was pretty nice.
Good start.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's pretty easy to break in and everyone gets out.
This guy's a scammer. Never do that. Been trying to get a hold of you.
On the car?
John said he would hold if you could take Jody next. She was rammed by an employee with a King Super employee with a flatbed and boxes. She is homeless. She's a hot mess. She's crying like crazy. Her husband just died of cancer a few years ago. No, but this is what she said. She goes, I got a job caregiving.
When did this happen?
Last week. She says, I got a job caregiving.
And she's on SSDI already.
No, she's trying to apply for that. That's a whole nother issue. I told her to bring up the Safeway stuff, or the King Super stuff first. She got a job caregiving, and now she can't work. She got rammed by this flatbed. She is a hot mess. I said, you've got to keep it together to get this through. But John said he'd hold if you would take her next. Otherwise, he wanted me to call her back.
Okay. It's not the lady with the car, is it?
Terry.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord, it's so cynical.
I bet you guys have seen some characters, man. Or heard.
Never a one.
We're in the same studio with each other every day.
Stories are all the same.
Right.
Nate got to meet his first nutcase last week.
Yeah.
Guy calls up, says, hey, I was in my townhome. All of a sudden I see particles everywhere from the attic, and I can't breathe anymore. I had to move. So I moved. Now I'm in a hotel for a little bit, or an apartment for a little bit. And sure enough, all the particles are here, too.
Quit smoking hash.
So Nate goes out there, and sure enough, the guy's like, don't you see them? They're everywhere.
Wow.
Then he sent me out on a real nutcase one time.
Mark, I know it. My heart, and usually I can spot him. I said, Mark, we got to help it. Who did I yell at? Him. Because I was so passionate. Yeah, remember that? Dan, what?
We got to help this guy.
Wait, what was it, Dan, you said about him? You said something. I said,
I'm thinking the guy's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
No, you didn't think he was crazy, did you? Did you think he was crazy?
The mailman was stealing his mail.
Something else you said. I said, what are you kidding me? We got to take it seriously.
Anything that happened.
I don't know. Whatever it was. I was really upset because I thought this poor guy. And then he was just so full of shit. Everything he said was
he was a true nut.
Flat out lie.
Well, no, he was a real nut. He believed it. I think he truly believed it.
Didn't you have a lady last year call in because people were living in her walls, or someone was...
She heard noises.
The one was impregnated by...
the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees came into her room while she was sleeping and impregnated.
Barry Gibb had
Barry Gibb.
Man, that's kind of, wow. I see sitcoms developing over something like that.
We're not saying that one was crazy. She was pretty normal.
Good Lord.
And then she said he wrote a song about her and the baby, and she's trying to get in touch with him. She basically started stalking him.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Sentry RV has opened up in Lakewood. That means, in addition to the 119, Highway 119 and I-25 location up north, they are in Lakewood. Do you know where they are in Lakewood? They are just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. It's right near Woodley's, if you can picture that. It's a 30,000 square foot monster, and it's all indoor. You don't have to worry about the weather. They have some Christmas specials. They have camper trailers under 10 grand. They have, on some big new units, up to $50,000 discounts. They are moving RVs of all kinds.
Largest used inventory in the state.
Right. And it's all indoors. And, of course, you can go to the 119 in Longmont, that one, the turnoff on I-25, or right here in Lakewood. Give them a call to find out more, 303-453-1111. You'll call and find out about Lakewood, or SentryRV.com. That's Sentry with a C, of course. Okay, let's go to Jody again. Not again, but Jody, and then John Fuller is going to listen on this one, our personal injury expert. Jody, oh my God, Jody, you're living in a car. You have some massive problems. Can you explain it as briefly as possible, dear?
Well, I was in King Super, and I was standing in the supplement aisle, and I was looking at vitamins, and one of the employees had a flatbed cart filled with boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him. I saw him. I said, "Excuse me." I moved to the left, far enough away, and the cart with the metal railings that went all the way around went straight into my shoulder and knocked me back.
Did you get knocked to the floor?
No, it just knocked me straight back all the way.
Now, Jody, may I ask something? I want to ask a few questions. How long have you been homeless, by the way?
I've been homeless for about a year.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that for another reason. I'm trying to get some ideas here. You were homeless for about a year, and are you on disability already?
No. What happened is I applied for disability,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a widow.
Mm-hmm.
My husband died 5 years ago.
Is that when things started going downhill?
Definitely.
Okay.
He had cancer. He needed a caregiver.
Okay.
And he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and leukemia.
Okay.
And I had to take care of him full time, and I couldn't work. So
I understand.
They wouldn't give me the disability.
Okay, so when he died, you had a big problem. And
Yes.
do you have any disabilities yourself?
Yes, I do.
Is that why you're applying?
That's why I was applying, yes.
Okay. Jody, I'm wondering, what is your disability? The reason I'm asking is I want to give John Fuller a full picture. For example, if your disability is eyesight and you didn't see the cart fully or whatever, what is your disability?
I'm schizophrenic.
Okay. So, you were at King Soopers and this employee hit you, and then what happened? Were you injured?
Yeah, my shoulder was throbbing.
Did you go to a doctor?
I went to the emergency room.
Did King Soopers take any information from you?
Well, what happened was the employee just didn't even ask how I was. He walked straight in the back. I had to call a manager, which was a produce manager,
Okay.
who just looked at me kind of dumbfounded.
Did they take information from you, Jody?
Not at all. Then I got out to my car, and I called the store, and the manager was very nice and told me I should go get it taken a look at, and there's an insurance company, and somebody will get a hold of me.
Did someone get a hold of you?
They got a hold of me, and I was in the emergency room. He goes, "How are you?" But he was an employee of the store, not the
Okay,
insurance
Jody,
company at all.
how long ago was this?
Friday.
And what injuries do you have right now? What did the emergency room say? Is it broken?
It's not broken. I have torn ligaments. I have torn tendons, and it's bruised terribly. I'm in a sling.
All right. John Fuller.
Well, so this is King Soopers. King Soopers is self-insured. King Soopers will use a third-party administrator, which is like an insurance company, to help administer a claim like this, and you should be contacted by somebody from their third-party administrator at some point. The important thing here, Jody, is that we document both the accident, the injury, we get the treatment that you need, because without treatment, you simply don't have a case. This is a case where the employee's negligence would be the cause of the injury, assuming you don't have anything prior to your shoulder. The schizophrenia doesn't concern me. That's completely unrelated and would have no bearing on causation or comparative negligence or anything like that. And so the important thing now is just documenting the injury so that we have some ability to prove what they did to you.
Unless more than one of her got injured.
It's probably all.
John, I wanted to ask another question, though.
It's probably all on video, too, though.
John,
let me just tell you, it'll be on video in stunning HD quality video.
Okay.
And I mean, stunning quality.
All right.
So you can count on that. For
All
sure.
right. We need to, does she need to let them know? Because I don't think they actually filled out a claim. It doesn't sound like it to me.
Well, if they didn't fill out a claim that night, it's very unlikely that she's going to be able to successfully bring a claim.
All right, hold on, and we'll come right back to you, Jody. I'm Tom Martino. More to come. Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about stem cell therapy. I've done extensive research, which led me to Centennial Schultz Clinic right here in Colorado. They're internationally recognized for their work with stem cells.
I caught it.
Maybe she could bring 2 planes since it's a diagnosis. She's got 2 planes.
more experience than any other provider in the country. Why would
It sounds like she got pretty messed up, though, if what she's saying is true. Torn ligaments, big bruises. The hospital have everything documented. Stunning HD, as he said. Here's the problem, though. Get into damages. It's not like she missed any work. I mean, honestly, what are the damages? Besides the hospital bills, there is no damages.
John, I told John what you said. He says, you tell Mark if he gives out my cell phone number to this lady, I'm going to call every llama rescue there is with his phone number, and llamas will be delivered.
I did a spot for him years ago. I said, oh, and he loves talking football, too. He loves talking Broncos, so even if you don't have a legal question, call John Fuller.
Just likes to chit-chat.
Yeah. He loves to chit-chat about the Broncos.
Are you guys really rescuing llamas?
Yes, they are.
No.
Sheep, anything you got to go on a farm.
Yeah. Chicken, sheep, goats, pigs, yeah, we'll take them all.
Why do they do that to babies? They look like aliens.
What?
Little newborns.
Oh, when they whack them?
No, my brother sends me a picture of his new grandson.
When they whack them.
Don't they slap them so when they come out? So
make them cry?
Well, they get stuff out of their throat or something, so they breathe for the first time.
He calls it a coordinated response in a very difficult location. Over 70 people on the Amtrak.
That was horrible. Did you see the photos of that Amtrak? It fell off like a bridge, man. It was unbelievable. Oh, yeah, look.
Where's that at?
Fatalities, the whole bit. It's the real deal. You remember years ago they had that big one coming outside of New York or Philadelphia, and they were going to pass a law saying that they had to have this new thing where they slow down automatically.
On the curbs?
On the curbs.
Yeah.
I guess they still haven't done that stuff. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but.
President outlining the pillars of its national security strategy.
I don't think you can prevent, you know, I mean, it's just bound to happen at some point somewhere.
What we really can and need to accomplish in the foreign
policy
realm. Mike Definitely. The National Security Council says part of the strategy involves a greater emphasis on homeland and border security. The president expects.
I don't know why it makes me think of that one plane that disappeared. They still haven't found.
With other nations on trade and climate change. Lisa,
thanks, Rachel. The president of ESPN, Skipper, is resigning.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it amazing? In today's world,
yeah,
we can literally lose an entire filled plane of people and have no idea where the hell it was.
Just opened up the search operation again.
I always had the impression up till then that we knew where every plane was all the time.
We don't.
Well, shit, that Malaysia one went missing and no one ever found
when they transfer from one range to another.
Well, Greg would be the one to answer that. They know where most planes are most of the time. We're on flight.
Open water.
No, do you go dark from control to control, from center to center ever?
Not unless you're over the ocean.
But over the ocean, you can go dark until you get to the next center.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of times we have no idea where the hell that plane is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if the plane's not setting its location.
We found the Titanic, you know what I mean? Like, we think.
That's actually a good point.
You know, I mean.
But all they know is this thing took off, then it disappeared. They don't even know if it made a hard turn. At first they were saying it made a hard turn. Then they were saying it dropped down into altitude. And then they have no idea.
Now the centers, I know where they're located in the U.S. Do they have other centers like the FAA in other countries?
Yes.
And English is the official language, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then China.
But over the ocean, he's saying forget about it.
But then, are the centers set up, like, do you have arrival, do you have the same thing, approach? Do you have approach and tower and ground and all that? It's the same?
The structure varies slightly. In general, it's mostly mapped. I mean,
when they give you a clearance delivery, do they give it to you in English?
Yes. Well, they have to be.
But okay, they don't have to though. If a Chinese pilot is there and the Chinese controller wants to give it to them in Chinese, they can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But in fact, even in the air, like they can talk to each other in Chinese.
But they must be
English. They have to have the ability to speak English.
Okay, I thought they had to always speak English. I heard that was the official language.
No, it's actually a big problem in
but it is
situation.
Officially the official language of the aviation industry, right?
It is.
You guys both fly?
Yeah. Yeah, he flies commercially.
Okay.
I fly for fun.
His website is John R. Fuller.
And
Mark flies on the weekends.
are all the, do they have VORs over there? Mm-hmm. But everything's GPS now.
It's moving that direction. Less developed countries have less developed.
Do they still have ILS?
Like RANs or
Some
something?
airports in the U.S. still use ILS.
Oh yeah. It's the primary. It's the primary approach.
Still.
Yeah. Definitely.
No fraud. They haven't converted to GPS fixes. I mean, can you use the GPS to simulate the ILS? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, but most airplanes, even like especially the bigger ones, don't have the updated equipment to really run, because you can run a GPS approach, almost to the same to the better accuracy than an ILS. But most of the equipment
they call that WAAS, isn't it?
And but a lot of equipment in our plane don't have any of that.
You don't have any of that?
No, we have we can do GPS approaches, but not to that accuracy. Nowhere near the accuracy of an ILS.
My damn iPad can do
I'm a finance guy.
Yeah, you know, they say not to use it. They say not to use it. I know, but technically, honest to God, you know the boxes, the highway in the sky they club, you can put it, and I swear to God, it's accurate right down to the numbers.
Pardon me, Tom and Mark, an emailer made a good point. A homeless person buying supplements.
And calling from a cell phone.
Calling from a cell phone.
And they happen to have a car.
Well, they got cell phones. They got bomber phones.
No matter who we are.
Are you homeless if you have a car?
More than ever, they need your support.
Depends how it's registered.
You know what?
Registered as an RV.
I wonder how many people are truly living in their car. That is just. There's a lot.
In this country?
Is the Troubleshooter
We should
Show.
give Jody a gift certificate.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan. And we'll hear from him at noon. Right now, I want to tell you about Rockies at 63rd and Federal, because they are running some Christmas specials. Yes, Rockies Autos. You go and all of the prices are clearly marked. They'll also give great trade values. And they have a large selection of weather-appropriate cars, but they still have all the regular stuff if you really want it. But if you're looking for an SUV, a pickup truck, an all-wheel drive, a four-wheel drive, they got them all. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. They're open all this week. So, and they're open Saturday. So go to Rockies at 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646. Okay, Jody lives in her car. She lost her husband to cancer. She couldn't work. She lost her home. She's in a car. She had a personal injury at King Soopers. And really, unless that's documented, she's going to have a problem. And they may not be responsible to begin with. It's a very difficult case if there aren't injuries. But she wanted to talk about an SSDI issue, which is Social Security Disability. And she said she has schizophrenia. So Jody, were you diagnosed as schizophrenic?
Yes.
And do you take medication?
They have given me several different kinds of medication, and they don't help.
Are you on medication now?
Yes, I am.
You're on medication right now. Good. Good. How do you get your medication?
Through Summit Stone.
Okay.
Healthcare.
And do you go regularly for counseling, or at least...
yes, sir.
Okay.
I go once a week
Good.
to counseling, and
Good.
I see my psychiatrist
Excellent.
every 3 months.
Okay, that's good, Jody. Now, what about SSDI? What can we help you with?
So, because of my husband's illness, I wasn't able to work because he needed a full-time caregiver. With chemo and
you don't have to explain it, Jody. Just tell us the situation.
Sorry.
You don't have to justify it.
When I went in, I applied, and I got a letter back immediately that said that I was turned down, but I had applied for SSI as well, and that's been a very long process.
Okay, so what are you calling about right now, SSI or SSDI? You don't get both.
No, I'm not really familiar with it, but I was trying to get survivor's benefits, but because I'm 56 and I'm not 60, there was a problem there. I applied for disability because of my schizophrenia, but because I had to take care of my husband, I didn't work the amount of time over 10 years that they said that I needed to.
I got it. So you're not eligible for anything right now?
Well, I'm pending, they're pending the SSI part of it.
Okay, supplemental security income.
And what relates to all this is I just got a little job as a caregiver, and because I took care of my husband, I figured I could take care of somebody else and make a little money for myself so that I could live and eat and
So what's the problem now?
life. I lost the position because I can't lift because of my shoulder.
Okay.
And
how are you getting how do you get any check whatsoever monthly at all? Are you on social services or anything?
I get food stamps.
Okay.
And I get A&D.
What's that?
Which it's like help for people that apply for SSI, and they give you like $189 a month.
Okay, so you get that plus food stamps, and then you have Medicaid, I take it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what can we help you with today, Jody?
I'm not sure what to do with myself. I'm in a position where
it's terrible.
I went out and I tried, and I feel very down because of it. And
Suzanne, what do you think? I mean, listen, you know, Jody, I really applaud you for wanting to do something to get out of this situation. We have another woman in this situation we've been trying to help. It is so difficult when you are homeless. You have the skill of being a caregiver, and you should be able to find someone you could help that doesn't need, where it doesn't need lifting.
Hey,
yes,
Tom,
go ahead.
I wonder if Howard, our friends at the Center for People with Disabilities, could maybe help get her some applications filled out. I was going to give her his number to call.
That would be one place.
See if that might help.
You know, it would be so nice if you could find someone who needs a little help around the place and some caregiving in exchange for a place to stay, just so you can get a base going.
Exactly, but it's very hard because
you can't help people in and out of chairs, can you?
No, I cannot anymore. It's in my heart. I'm in a sling, and I'm supposed to see my doctor at Salud later today. You know, as a follow-up. All I really have is myself, and I want to make sure that I know I have quality of life. You know, I just don't want to be one of...
Jody, I understand.
I don't want to see myself on a corner with a sign.
Jody, I understand completely. I can't even imagine. Really, I can't. I know people are listening might think, oh, well, how'd she get that way? It's not difficult. Not when you're taking care of someone sick and that's your breadwinner and that person dies and you have nowhere else to turn. Jody,
the fact is that back then, because Plan D came into play, we had to pay 20% of all of Dick's chemotherapy.
Jody,
each treatment.
Jody, you don't have to justify why you're where you are. Okay, I want to try to help you. I'm hoping there's someone listening saying, well, maybe she can do this or maybe she can do that. I don't know right now. I'm trying to think while I'm on the air and while I'm talking to you, but it's better if we get your information and try to toss this around with the staff. Look, we do sometimes help people. Usually it's before, as I say, they fall off the cliff. You're kind of in a weird situation. You're not completely destitute, but you are going to be if you don't do something. And you have a car. I mean, if your car broke down, for goodness sakes, you'd have nothing. So I'm hoping at least your car is your car old?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's a 99 Ford Ranger.
God. All right, hold on. Suzanne, get her information for sure so we know where to contact her. Mark, what do you do with stuff like Bob Logan? I know that you do a lot of charity and you like helping people, but what do you do with people like this? You hear about these all the time. I don't mean you individually, but do you have any ideas? What can people do?
You know, as you were talking to Jody, I was trying to rack my brain thinking, who could I refer to, or who do I know that might be able to give her a hand? And you know, in an individual circumstance like this,
it's hard.
It is hard.
You don't know what to do. And Jody, if I knew of someone, I'd like to make a connection for you. If maybe there's someone who needs help that you can help, but you yourself, your arm's in a sling and you can't lift anyone, you can't help someone in and out of even a chair. Jody, one thing for sure we can do right now, Jody.
Yes, sir.
Well, brighten your day at least a little. We want to give you a $100 gift certificate for King Supers.
That's ironic enough.
I know. No, we do. Seriously, Jody. We want to give you. We got gift certificates from wonderful donors. We often do have this, and we want to help you at least with that right now. But then we're going to put out our feelers. If anyone has any ideas for Jody, she doesn't sound. You know, she's now. People might be freaked out about the schizophrenia part. You know.
You think? You want her caregiving?
Hold on.
Amazed.
Jody. Yeah, Jody, you say schizophrenia. What is at your worst? What has happened episode-wise? I mean, you know, people might be a little sketchy about that.
I was apparently. I've been in psychoanalyst for years and years and years.
Just tell me, like, how does it manifest itself?
I was damaged, and I see people and talk to people, and I constantly feel like I'm screaming, shut up, and I am.
You mean people that aren't there?
People that aren't there.
God. And you know they're not there because people tell you they're not there.
Right. And the medicine really doesn't work very well, and it upsets my body. Not so much even my mind as my body. And it agitates me. What it does is it makes it. The doctor kept telling me, take more, take more, take more, and the more I took, the more agitated I get with the medicine.
You have to do, but you have to do something. I mean, you don't want you know, people yelling at you that aren't there, especially if you're yelling back.
No.
How long have you been schizophrenic?
Since I was a teenager.
Oh.
But I dealt with it.
You should be able to get Social Security disability. Hold on a second. Why aren't you getting social? Because you didn't work long enough. So if you don't work long enough, you don't get it at all. Is that what it is?
You have to work 20 quarters in 10 years.
Okay. What do you do with someone like this? Like, Mark, you wouldn't hire her for anything, would you, around the house because of the schizophrenia?
Hey, what do you try to set me up for failure here? Would you have her take care of someone you knew and loved? I mean, that's an insanity. Hey, of course not.
Because you don't know.
We're not set up for this.
No.
We're set up to help people. She's got huge problems, man. Well beyond my...
Well, I'm going to try to help her a little.
If anyone has any ideas, give us a call. Okay? That's all we can say. Mike, welcome. What's going on, Mike?
Well, I talked to my financial advisor about the banking, or
the overfunding life insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said in the case of older people, it's probably not a good deal because your
cost of insurance is too much.
Life expectancy.
Here's what he meant. Okay, hold on a sec. Rather than running late, I'll come right back to you. He brings up a good point on age. He's saying if you're older, would it still be worth it? We'll talk about that in a little while here. I want to take a quick break, but that is a good point. 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you have a garage door on the fritz, or something goes wrong with the spring, or you want to get a new one, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Simply the best. 303-565-6409.
And tell him it must be free.
This report is brought to you by
Traffic flow across the Mile High
Mark,
Freeway.
yes, come on,
Good shape right
schizophrenia.
now. No new stalls or
What about
accidents being reported across town at
What's
this
your point?
time. Northbound I-25
You get two for the price of one.
Earlier crash has
Maybe
been
more
off
than
to the right shoulder there. About 4 or 5 cars off to the right.
that's a
there,
tough
so
one there.
Caution. Not seeing major delays there. The rest of the drive across town in decent shape. Crash off Highway
We always
6th Avenue in Delaware.
Go to your local church.
Anytime we ever try to do anything here, what do? We spin our wheels. That's all. Your wheels never stop spinning.
Nice with a high near 57. Right now, partly
We were giving a homeless lady a car. I was the only one that said, "Is this not the dumbest thing we've ever thought of?" There's no insurance. Then we find out there's no driver's license. There's no way she can get anything. There's no way she can do anything. It was the craziest thing we've ever thought of.
Broadmoor.com. Close to home. Get a world away.
Could have lived in it.
Has a better plan. They can help you with consolidation, but get it all.
It was the craziest thing we ever thought of. Every time we turned around, she'd leave an 8-minute message that was just insane.
Yeah.
I would have taken my driver's test today, but I had the stomach.
If somebody has a disability from birth, isn't SSDI designed to take care of them?
Do we have anyone who does Social Security disability?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, if you never
You
were
should
able to
find
work
an
in
attorney, Nate, that
Course.
does Social Security disability. I swear to God. We have no one.
Quarters. I'm trying to think. I thought if you're like...
You said you got to work 20 quarters, but what if you're never able to work from the beginning?
Yeah, isn't there kids that are on SSDI or no?
In the days around Christmas and all of December, there were more shivering families than anyone can remember. When those who are wondering I should appear,
They're just too, it's just too hard.
words of good cheer, water heater.
In fact, I'd even argue the opposite. We get in and get someone's hopes up, oh, you're going to get a car. When it's all said and done, they feel like we fucked them over.
Yeah,
because
because
they
you're strapped with all the responsibilities of having a car. You know,
That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's insanity. Some of these, when we try to just get involved, we make them worse.
You know, I was blown away with my first visit to Willow Creek Dental. They created a standard of dental care called the Willow Creek Way. The Willow Creek
There's
Way
this lady that's still going, well, when do I get my car?
with incredibly
Well,
high-quality dental care.
you don't have a license, you don't have insurance, you don't have a job, you don't...
You
You're not a
really have to
citizen?
see for yourself. Schedule
Maybe
a
not.
patient appointment today. Mention my name and receive a free Sonicare
Thank you.
toothbrush. Visit willowcreekdds.com. Make my
You wish you
dentist,
could help the
Willow Creek
world.
Dental, your dentist.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about new windows for your home, there are 3 things you should look for. First, a good quality window.
Tom, I don't have Joe's number. Could you share it with me via text? I know you have his info on your phone.
That's Windows America.
And then, can we put the word out, see if any of our listener friends are going from here to Fort Collins in the next day or two? Because that's where that lady is. She has no gas to get the car and no mailing address.
This is exactly what I just said. Exactly. Now her entire hopes are up. I just watched it.
I can
This is
drive
going
to
to
Fort
fall.
Collins.
Well, okay.
I mean, I don't want to.
Stressed and burned out, Dr. Jan Bellerman and Daryl Dennis invite you to join
And I sat there when he, just when
It
you were
was my
talking about
idea.
it.
I'm the one that whispered it in his ear.
So let's
He's
just
super
forget
good.
about helping people pack up and go home.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it. Is that what we should do?
Am I
What
gonna
number
answer
do
it
you
now?
need?
Joe Keanu, please.
Why don't we just call up the state mental institution and line up calls for tomorrow?
Giving her your cell phone.
Yeah.
Does she have a llama?
Eric was way behind on his taxes. Owed a lot of money to the IRS. Almost 15
So, and I do have a problem asking listeners, hey, will you drive this lady that yells and sees people all the time to Fort Collins?
Right.
1, 2, 3. Optima Tax Relief took care of Eric's problem. And now my dad
Woman murders Martino listener, story at 11.
consultation. Call 800
And no llama involved.
800-960-1570.
No, you're right. I mean,
Look
you do.
around. Afternoons 4 to 7.
No, it could be construed negatively. It would be.
Player protest.
Oh, I guarantee it would be. It would be your fault somehow. There'd be no doubt about it.
Before a Rebel Talk Radio.
Martino listener does it again.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Plumbline services in the house, along with our public adjuster. Okay, what's another good word? You talked about your $29 furnace special, checkup special.
What do you got going on? What else? What,
we still got our drain clearing special during the holidays.
What is the drain? I like
the holidays,
that one. 93.
Between Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Is it?
A lot of gas.
What is
$93?
Explain it.
We will clear your main line if it's backing up, or the call is free. If we can't get it cleared, it's free.
But not only free, but you give them a full report on what's wrong and what it'll take to fix.
Absolutely. And then, if necessary, we'll get one of our supervisors over there. They carry cameras. We'll get a camera down the line and figure out what the root of the problem is.
That's important.
The root of the problem. Did you do that on purpose?
Unintended.
I get it. Okay, so let's go back to the phones. So, Mike, your financial advisor said if you're older, it may not help. Because we're talking about become the banker, where what you do is you overfund a life insurance policy. It's an investment grade life insurance policy. It returns a guarantee of 4% plus dividends, which hover around 1 to 2%, sometimes 3%. So right now, paying 5% tax-free, it grows. And the idea is to accumulate money to borrow from yourself, then put more money back in by paying yourself interest, and then eventually you take a systematic loans out for income in your later years. And then what you do is you let the life proceeds pay off those loans, and you never pay tax on that income. And you're so right. One of the important things is you need time to accumulate income. And if you are getting into this at 50, what happens? Well, people do get into it at 50. What they can do, if they have money, is make it the government, because of your age, allows you to make a lump sum contributions. In fact, anyone can make a lump sum, but if you're older, you get to make more of a lump sum. And that's one option. So let's say you have money sitting somewhere not doing much for you, and you want to earn tax-free interest, tax-free. You can do that. You can make a lump sum. Another thing you can do is just make larger contributions. But if you don't have a lump sum, or if you don't have the ability to overfund a substantial amount, then you would have a less of a nest egg, obviously, at 50 than you would at 30. At
well, if you're 66.
Well, if you're 66, I don't want to get too personal, but I know someone who got into it pretty late. I mean, near 60. And they were able to make a lump sum. And again, that's what I mean. It depends on your situation, because you can borrow from it within days. But the only problem is the cost of insurance might be too much for it to be a good deal. That's where you have to depend on someone truthful, someone forthright to tell you, you know, Tom, the cost of insurance here is really expensive, so most of your let's say a good part of your premium dollar is going toward insurance. What you want to know is how much of that dollar is going to insurance and how much of it is going to cash value. And as you get older, more of it would go to insurance. So
how much of average input are we talking about in terms of money?
Some people have premiums of a few $100 a month. Others have a few grand a month. Some people make lump sum contributions a year. It depends on your financial situation.
I don't think anybody would have premiums of a couple thousand a month, though.
If they want to, they can, Mark.
Oh, you mean just to overfund it?
I don't mean cost of insurance.
Yeah, okay.
I mean the premium they set. You set the premium for yourself. What's that?
What if you're only getting Social Security as income?
Well, of course, that would be... I don't see how anybody could do it. I mean, you wouldn't have any disposable income to fund it with. I mean, the whole idea is funding. So if you don't have money to fund, it's not worth doing.
Like any retirement plan.
If you only have enough for the insurance, don't get this insurance. Get term insurance. Because this insurance is not designed... It's a good insurance policy, but it's not designed for just regular insurance. If you just want insurance, get term. The only reason to get this insurance, it's a low-cost investment grade policy. The only reason is to overfund it.
Tom, for the lump sum, could you fund it from an existing 401k without penalty?
You absolutely... No, hold on.
You'd get without penalty.
No, but there is a way to do it and minimize it, but yes, you would. Of course, because you get that hit. But there have been many people who found it was worth it to them to be able to convert and go into this because they borrowed from it and then started paying themselves back with interest, and they did it for real estate purchases and found holding their own mortgage was way more advantageous, plus they were building up their retirement, and they didn't care about that penalty. But again, Joe can answer all of these specific questions. That's why I love having him on. But you know, and if you go to becomethebanker.info, you'll see the information. He has it spelled out. I did a video about it, becomethebanker.info. And if you ever wanted to call and just ask a specific question, Mike, like about, you know, how old you are or something, it's 303-779-6600.
Or better yet, just go to the free seminar.
Yeah, and becomethebanker.info has information on the seminars.
You know, it's not
becomethebanker.info.
It's not truly a qualified. It isn't. It's not a qualified retirement plan, so you can't switch like you were saying, Bob. But
well, hold on.
There truly is a loophole.
Mark, it's not qualified, but you still can switch.
Yeah, it's not tax deferred, is what I'm saying.
Right. You still get. It is tax deferred when it comes to the income within it. The money
I'm purely talking about his rollover question.
All the money you put in, any money you put in is not deductible. You don't deduct the money or take it from your income. So that's why it's non-qualified. But a lot of people have non-qualified plans. Mark has non-qualified plans. His day trading account or his stock account, that's you know, we all look forward to invest. Everything we invest is non-qualified except for, what, 401k, defined pensions, whatever.
IRAs,
SEPs.
Roths.
Yeah. But I don't mind so much the non-qualified part of it, as long as you do have a qualified plan as well. I like both.
You know, a lot of people's retirement is the equity in their home as they get older. It truly is.
Yep.
Right. Unfortunately, a lot of people use their homes like an ATM machine.
I know they do, and they eat up their equity. Tommy, your turn.
Yeah. I got a little bit of advice for the camera ticket guy, and then I got an idea for Jody.
Okay.
As far as the camera ticket guy, my hobby is actually fighting every ticket I get myself.
Do you win?
Yes, because there's nothing constitutional about traffic court.
You know, the guy that was just on the phone, the guy that just got off the phone that was asking about the banker thing, he fights it in federal court. He claims to win every time. So tell me a real story, Tom. Don't make it up. Tell me a real story where you won.
Well, I do ignore camera tickets, but if they do take you to court over a camera ticket, I ask that camera to take the stand as the witness.
And have you actually done that?
Yes, and you can't.
Okay, so what happens? What does the judge say? He says just pay the fine and get out, right?
Well, that's why traffic court is extortion, because...
But you haven't won fighting it that way.
Yes, and the last time I actually paid a ticket, I still got it to 0 points.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time I don't even pay the ticket because I usually beat it.
But I want to know, were you ever given a ticket by a police officer, went to court, and beat it?
Yeah, because you have to provide damage, injury, or a plaintiff, and a ticket usually doesn't have any of those things. And I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're scared and you don't know what you're talking about, a judge and a DA will throw you off and they'll have you all fumbled. But if you know what's going on and you know the process...
Now, what's the problem? Give me. I've asked you for a ticket that you've gotten where you went to court and won, and how you did it.
Well, let me answer your question with a question. In what situation of justice does a DA say, I want you to lie to the judge about something you didn't do to get out of what we
you mean the plea bargain.
Yeah, that's called extortion.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a case where you have been given a ticket for speeding, where you went into court and fought it and won.
Well, it wasn't speeding, but whenever I ran a Domino's, I did some delivery on the side when we needed it.
But everything you just told me, you said you make it a habit of fighting tickets you've gotten.
Right. A cop tried to say that I ran a stop sign when, from where he was sitting, he couldn't see that I stopped and then went. But I went into court like there's no damage, there's no plaintiff, and it's my word against his, and I beat that one.
There doesn't have to be a plaintiff for a criminal case. The people are the plaintiff.
There has to be an injury or damage.
Well, there has to be a crime, you mean?
Yeah, and if it's just a guy saying, hey, you didn't stop in a spot...
But I'm not so sure. Hold on a second. With a speeding ticket, if you're going 110 in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, okay, You don't have damages necessarily. You have a plaintiff, the people. You have the police officer in the charge. I'll bet you can be punished, and your argument or your defense that there was no damage would not work.
Maybe not in that situation, but just like a lawyer, I do have to assess each ticket I get. And granted, I'm not getting a ticket a month. I mean, I might go to court once a year, but I wholeheartedly go in and fight it.
His argument is a victimless crime argument, but in this country, we've got a ton of stuff that's victimless.
Yeah, but thanks for calling, Tommy.
Let's see how we can help Jody, though.
Yeah. Oh, he said he had a suggestion. What's your suggestion for Jody?
Yeah, I've done a lot of work as a caregiver for mentally handicapped people in like day habs and stuff where you're just trying to help them live normal life. And if her problem is occasionally screaming at no one, that's called Tuesday in like a mentally handicapped day hab. So, I mean, if she can find an address to claim and get through, I would try Thrive Community Actions. They're off of Iliff and 225.
And what do they do?
They do a day hab for mentally handicapped people of all types, and they're always hiring. And it's literally just you take them on activities.
Do you think they would use her?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, especially if she claims she's got a pretty good rap on it, where she's just not spontaneously having issues every day. If it never even comes up, like I said, there's things I mean, it's not violent, it's not a bad job, but I've cleaned enough adult diapers that if someone was screaming at no one, I wouldn't even think a second thought of it.
Yeah, but you don't want one of the employees doing that. That's the thing, who are helping these people.
And I can't speak for what level she's at or what she claims it happens, but that's my first attempt.
Well, I appreciate your information, and I know that you listen regularly, so thank you for listening. And I'm serious about that. We appreciate it. So we have to take a quick break. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Wink and Wink are bankruptcy attorneys, and I hope you don't need them, especially as we approach the holiday season. Don't charge up your cars thinking you're just going to get away with it, because it doesn't work that way. That is fraud. If you know you're going bankrupt and you just do your cards, they look at recent transactions. You know, Wink and Wink has a bunch of information. If you're in trouble, don't wait, and don't think I'll just do it after the holiday, after I buy everything everybody wants. It's the bad way to go. They can do debt settlement talks, Chapter 13s or Chapter 7s if you have an unemployment, death in the family, or maybe a divorce, you need help. winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720.
iHeartRadio Music Festival are sold out. 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival from Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage, over 20 of the biggest artists on the planet, celebrated with iHeartRadio fans from around the world. Are sold out. 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
I put 2 and 2 together late. Tuesday morning is a store, Mark, in case that threw you. It's a store.
Well, I know. But
Mark may not have known that.
No, when he says
being a joke.
When he says it's Tuesday morning, I think he means it's just another day.
That's exactly right.
Oh, I don't think so. I thought he was saying
Tuesday. He's saying it's normal. All
it's just another Monday.
Right. Business as usual. When I see people yelling, you know what they call that?
That's your chemtrail guy.
Yeah. So he's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a good comeback too.
Your all screen is not updating. When that happens, Courtney, just do that and hit call track. Is your screen updated?
You'll see if it's
Like
in
a
your
second delay. It only gives me 1 second delay.
You visit the showroom, pick out what you want, and he'll get you
I just went to
that will not change. Serving Denver Metro and the entire mountain communities, they do beautiful work, and it's a 1 to 4 week turnaround. Whatever you do in the kitchen, they do in the bathroom free.
Sean email? That was Sean reaching out to us. So,
Right. Yeah. I talked to the lawyer, the Sean's lawyer. So I'll call her.
you know, I'll just email her. We don't have like a clip. I'll say, go to this podcast. You came in the
But
last 2 hours.
I need to go and do this, so I need to reach out to her because
money on a mattress. It would be nice.
So you're going to reach out to her.
Right. It would be nice if we could sum it up.
Casper was created with the
mini shop problem that came in on Friday.
Yeah.
She wanted a clip of the audio.
Right, well, I talked to the lawyer, and he was supposed to call me back, and he never did. That's representing, he said...
Is she suing shop?
No. He said the lawyer was contacting him to try to resolve it. One of the shop's lawyers. Right.
About what? What was it?
That Mini Cooper.
Well, what's the deal, though?
He had got the car, and then they found out that it was in an accident.
Oh, yeah,
They knew about it.
So they turned it over to
an attorney, but he was doing the negotiating for him, and I talked to him, and he couldn't know each other.
You know any welders?
Have your furnace checked.
It's so hard to
for
find
just
welders.
$29 with Online Services, a company you can rely on.
Yeah, they're all traveling.
I need a welder.
Perfectly this winter, and you can trust them.
This guy just went through a divorce and
$29 now, and save money with a better running furnace and no breakdowns. 303-562-0439, 562-0439, plumlineservices.com, 562-0439. Do you have high-interest credit card debt or student loans and feel like you will never get ahead making minimum payment every month? Hi, this is Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing. Oh, you're right. American Financing can help you by consolidating your high-interest debt into one manageable monthly payment. Did you know you can refinance up to 85% of your home's current value? This can allow you to start saving hundreds, thousands, or more every month. Rates are still near historic lows. So what are you doing now? As rates are expected to increase again.
What are you doing later this afternoon? Are you at your office? Oh, that's right.
I'm headed downtown to a meeting.
What about tomorrow?
There are no upfront fees.
After
and you
the
may
show.
be able to skip up to
Well, I was hoping to talk to you before I talk to you.
for you. Call now before rates go up again.
I got this meeting at 2, so I can talk to you a little after the show.
Why don't we just go to this room back over here and talk for a few minutes before I have
Let's do that. Let's do that.
At American Finance.
I have the lunches at 2.
Okay.
2334 regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
It's unusual to do commercials about this because if you're an addict, you're not going to listen. I hope you would. Meanwhile, this
Let's do that, and then if we have to schedule something longer, we can do that.
usually it's the family and loved ones who recommend rehabilitation. They call the Raleigh House. We met with these people. They are genuine from top to bottom. They absolutely have a love for people and for what they do. If you call the Raleigh House, they want to help you help the addict in your life, whether it's alcoholism, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, and meth. Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, sedatives, and even marijuana.
What was the name of that drone company?
I don't know. I bought some of it, though.
Yeah.
It was like, hold on, I probably have it up. I didn't buy a lot of it, but I loved it.
Oh, I agree.
AV.
That's all right.
It's a company that makes these drones that are unbelievable.
It's like the #1 drone company.
Hello?
Going out of town? Take us with you. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
So I have the electrician just put a light in the closet.
Arrow and fireman.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. 303-713-TALK. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Remember that name for reliable home improvements. Whether it's interior or exterior, they actually do both. They do a bunch of remodeling in the home as winter comes on. Genesis. You may have to wait a little while to get on it, but you know what? He's not gonna disappear with your down payment like so many people that call us have problems. So siding, windows, gutters, painting, decks, fences, all the way to kitchens and basements and bathrooms. 303-679-8509. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Okay, now, who has been waiting a long time? I have to get them, and then I have another screaming deal to talk about. Bob, go ahead, Bob. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. How are you today?
What's going on with you?
Well, I got a question. The wife and I, in 2008, purchased a campground membership here in Colorado, and supposedly a lifetime membership. But now the 2 years are here just recently, the campground foreclosed.
What do you mean they foreclosed?
Well, I guess the corporation that was managing the membership foreclosed.
I don't understand foreclosed.
Like someone took the property?
What do you mean? You have a membership. You have a membership in a campground, and the campground went away?
No, the campground's still there. It just went under different, I guess, timeshare company.
Okay, so the other company went under. They got foreclosed on? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Did they go bankrupt?
Yes, that's the way I understand it. They never told the membership that.
Okay, so this new company, is the new company saying they have no obligation to you?
That's right.
They probably don't if they did it correctly. Most new companies don't, even if it's the same principles, unfortunately. Sometimes these scumbags just change names just to avoid collections. But it may truly be a new company. Is it a new company or not? Or are they the same people?
Well, the same people are running it, but a different entity is
owning it.
The membership.
See, that's tough. It really is, because it looks and smells like the same, but it's not.
Right.
If they truly, I mean, I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying that's probably what happened. You have ownership entities, you have management entities, then you have the actual facilities. Facilities, management, and ownership, they can interchange. You know, the facilities, they can move somewhere, you know, and then say, well, this is where the membership is now. Unless it's guaranteed at that facility, you can't do anything about that. Or a new manager can take over, or a new owner. But your contract is with the owner, and if it's with the owner and the owner went away, you don't have a membership anymore. It's like anything, a health club or anything. If they go bankrupt or under, you're done.
So I'm not held to the original contract that we took out in 2008, because now they're pressuring me. The new company that is running it is pressuring me to buy back in again.
Well, you don't have to. Now, hold on.
Okay.
Let me make some things clear here. This is really...
He could have a successor agreement.
This is really... what Mark is alluding to is this. If in your agreement you agree to be... to have a membership, what was the old company's name?
Western Horizons.
Okay, you agree with Western Horizons to have a membership. Western Horizons is allowed to sell that contract or assign it, especially if they have it in the clause. Most of them actually say so-and-so and or their assigns, or somewhere in the contract it says this is assignable. Now, technically, they don't always have to do that. Your contract, if it was with them and they sold that entity, you would still have the contract. If it's a different entity, you would not have a contract. So if the new company bought your contract legally, you're bound to them. But they can't change the terms and conditions either, unless it expires and now you're going to get a new one. So what do you mean they're pressuring you?
Well, they never gave any notice to all the members that this was happening.
Well, I just need to know, how are they pressuring you?
Well, a sales rep is giving me 48 hours to sign a new contract.
Or what?
Or I won't be able to use the facilities.
And the new contract is what? You have to pay more money?
Yes.
Do you get credit for anything you've paid? Was it a monthly agreement anyway?
Well,
how does it work?
Yeah. Well, it was a lifetime buy-in, and then you have yearly...
And what he just said just sounded, I don't get it. He doesn't have to stay.
No.
Right?
So, what was the buy-in? How much?
The original buy-in was $8,000.
And you paid that. And now what are they asking for? Just a monthly payment or another buy-in?
Another buy-in to this other company.
Of how much?
Of $5,000.
Hell no.
Well, wait, was the original $8,000 supposed to cover you forever?
Yeah, for life.
Yes, for the wife and I lifetime.
So what happens if they sell again? Then the other guy's going to want $5,000.
Someone else bought it. That's what happened.
He didn't threaten you. He didn't threaten you if he didn't say they're coming after you for the money, right? He just said you do it or don't use it. Well, that's true. Right. You don't listen. You're out of business. You have to sue the previous company for breach of contract.
Right, I understand that. So my question is, I'm not liable to that contract in 2008 then, correct?
I don't know what you signed. I mean, well, yes, if that company still owned it, it depends on what you signed. I don't know if it was yearly renewable. I don't know if you're liable, sir. I don't have that contract in front of me. If you have a contract with an entity and the entity goes under and there were no assigns, the answer is no, you don't have anybody to be to behold. I mean, who would you be liable to? Why are you concerned about that? Are you concerned that that old company still wants monthly payments from you?
Well, yeah, they're sending me a yearly deal for my yearly dues.
I'm talking about the previous company.
Yes.
Where the hell are you going to camp? The previous company. What membership do they have? For what? They're gone.
Right.
Okay, Bob. This company is asking you to pay for a new membership to where?
To that campground.
You just told me they sold.
Right, but it's really kind of.
So there. Hold on. The old company is saying you can still go there if you pay the old company?
No, I have to go through a new management company.
Okay, Bob, you just told me that the old company is still trying to get you to pay. The old company is.
Well, the campground is telling me I owe my dues.
Okay.
I guess is what I meant.
But from the new company.
Right.
You don't owe anything unless they bought your contract legally.
Okay.
Bob, I could give you so much more information if I had information. Send your original contract. Then send the notices to us if you want us to have someone look at it. I do have to take a break, though, because it is getting very, very late, and I am very, very confused right now. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
The new guys or the old guys? But they want $5,000 buy-in.
The new guys want $5,000 more. The old guys, I don't think, are asking for shit. He wants to know, does he still have to pay the monthly to the old guys? If he decides to get up and leave, does he? None of it matters because we don't have the contract.
So it's like a timeshare?
It's like a timeshare.
But if they're asking for the next $5,000, I would say the old company is completely gone. He does not have to pay that.
I think the problem is he really loves the campground. If he didn't, he would, he could just walk away and be fine.
Well, I thought he said he purchased.
Well, no, he couldn't because it was a lifetime deal. I mean, he got screwed no matter what. He bought into a lifetime deal, and it's gone.
But did he pay it all?
I don't think so. I think he paid the $8,000, but then you still got to pay monthly.
Okay.
Just like a timeshare.
So it is timeshare.
Yeah, he's paying his whatever.
It's a camp share.
It's a camp share. They sit around the fireplace.
If you buy a timeshare and somebody else buys that building,
you're
you're obligated to the original.
You have no deed on a timeshare. You don't know shit. If like Hilton went belly up and you owned a timeshare with them, you have nothing.
No, you have nothing, but would you still have to pay the yearly dues and then a special assessment?
No, not if they went out of business.
They're out of business unless somebody is legally assuming their life.
Right, and then you would still have a place to go.
If you pay this.
It's called NEO, so come early orthodontics. NEO, N-E-O. Look them up, neo-smiles.com. neo-smiles.com, or call this number.
But no, you have nothing on a timeshare. You don't even own the 1 week, technically. You own nothing.
Any of you guys own timeshare? Yeah, didn't think so.
I've gotten a lot of good free shit off.
My dad bought one in Vail 40 years ago, and it's been good because we've had Thanksgiving up there for the last 40 years. It's been a great family tradition. But
I'd rather have a friend with a timeshare.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, me too.
The reality is, too, the maintenance fees are higher than what you can actually rent the place for. So you're better off just renting a place a year in advance every year.
Exactly. Or now with Airbnb and VRBOs and stuff like that.
Airbnb is great.
I've used it quite a bit.
They're not that cheap, though.
They're not, but what you get is an experience far and beyond a hotel room.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I've had cabins in Breck and places in California, and it's a good deal.
Personal stuff rate and prevent burnout. They'll help you regain energy and reclaim a happy life. Register for this life-changing event at valueversusforce.com.
It looks like it was the same thing with this train. It was speeding. They took a damn corner they shouldn't have done, and they're going to go back to talking about that automatic system. This will play right into Trump's hands with his putting money into the country. Right. This literally, the infrastructure bill.
And then watch the Democrats not worry about the deficit.
Well, the one that happened a couple years ago they were talking about? Didn't they find out that that engineer was drinking or
Hello, Vernon.
there was something.
Yeah, but that system, if it was in place, wouldn't have mattered. It would have overrode whatever he was doing.
Right.
Just amazes me where they.
Man, that is a nasty mess. Good God.
Deficit.
Oh, it looks horrible, man.
Let's see how many people.
Did you watch the end of the Dallas game?
I didn't watch it. No, I didn't.
Oh, it was crazy, man. So Raiders running for a touchdown, they would have won.
Oh, that's where they measured it, right?
No. The quarterback runs in, extends the ball. It hits. It didn't quite hit yet the goalpost, or not goalpost. The marker, the zone marker. Yeah, what is that called?
The pylon?
The pylon. So he dives for it. If it hits there, 7 points, they win. They win by 3 or 4. But he lets go of the ball right before it touches it. It goes out of bounds, knocks the pylon. It was a touchback.
Yeah.
So
20 yards. That's the worst.
Ran out of time.
Right.
It was unbelievable.
Gets at the 20-yard line.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, but they literally went to 0. That was it.
Why did he let go? He just couldn't handle it. Couldn't hold it. That was Carter, right?
Yeah, he did. He fumbled it. I mean, really, he didn't. God, he didn't.
Side riding now.
All right, 303-713-8255. Hey, I want to ask our public adjuster real quick. Matthew Stanford, Paragon Services. What is the most you've gone out to? So let's say someone's had hail damage, $10,000 worth of damage. They call you to go out there and see if there's anything else. Do you typically double it? This is what I've always said. Double it, or have you actually went out to one where you triple it?
Oh, sure. I mean, it just, you know, I always analyze the determination letter. That's your what did they come up with?
What is the biggest thing out there that you see insurance companies don't want to pay for? Hailstorm goes through Lakewood. They come out, they say, oh, you need a new roof, here's a check for $15,000. What is the typical thing these jokesters forget to pay you on?
Interior damage, overhead and profit, siding.
Overhead and profit, that's a good one. A lot of people don't even know.
Overhead and profit in a typical policy is something that's calculated in the premium. So they are obligated.
Which is generally, what, 10%?
It's going to be 10% of material labor involved. And, you know, it's a very gray area how they define it. Yeah. They say, well, this job's not complex enough. Well, so that's subjective.
What is the average? So let's say you went out to Lakewood. There was huge storms out there. What is the average if it's a $15,000 roof claim and they get a check from $15,000? And people, listen to me right now. Here's the deal. If it's within the last 2 years, it's the last 2 years from the date of the
determination.
Incident. Oh, the determination
letter.
So even if they've been paid, they signed off, they're all done, you can reopen it.
Yes.
And what's the average you get? And listen to what this guy says.
I would say I can double most of them across the board.
So they'd get another check in that example for $15,000, and the only way you get paid is when that check comes in and you take how much of it?
10%. I'm a 10% across the board.
Period.
Period.
Tom, there's no better way to do it out there.
Mark, I just think it's wwonderful, okay? I just think it's wonderful.
I got to give his number out real quick, though. So anybody, if it's in the last 2 years, why is it 281? What is this?
Yeah, no, I built this in Texas.
Got it.
Okay?
Well, that's a good
so
place
I still have a business partner down there.
All right, 281-728-8862. 281-728-8862. Matthew Stanford, or, of course, on the referral list at referrallist.com.
It's a no-lose. Ann has a comment about that camping trip, or, excuse me, that camping ground. Go ahead.
Oh, there, Tom.
Hi, Ann. Can you shed some light on this? You have the same membership?
Oh, same membership, sure do. And
they switched?
Showing me everything. They switched. They sold off. The old owner sold it off. And I also had a contract for 3 lifetime members. That's a long time with you. That's to this code upon purchasing it. And I purchased it for about $8,000 and about $19.99 is when I purchased mine.
Okay, so what's happening? Are they asking you to pay more?
Yes, pay more if I want to continue to go up to the campsite. And yet I am paying a yearly association due to still continue to go up there.
So you're not going to do it, right?
I love going up to Gunnison. I love going up there.
So are you going to pay? Are they asking for a new buy-in? Is what I'm asking.
Yes, they are.
And are you? And you're going to do it?
No. So my other option they gave me is instead of coming up and enjoying the resort for free because I've actually purchased it, I'm a member.
Yes.
I have to pay each and every time I go up now.
But you can still use it.
I can still use it.
If she pays. But then other people can't go up and just use it, or can they? Is it just like being a member? You still can't use it. So at least they're going to let you use it per use. I think that's good.
Yes.
Well, it's something.
Yeah, it's something. Okay. Now, we have people on the lines. We'll get to you right after the break. We got so much to talk about. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Information from Plumline Services. Also, our public adjuster if you have any questions. And more, of course, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints.
I've made it happen before, but it's very tricky. How long has it been?
30 years in all.
But things sold. You need to buy a Mercedes.
If you owe back taxes,
$8,500.
these guys are the best. They're smart. They have a fantastic team of experts and will understand your
Probably too far gone.
Their names said
If anybody, you know anybody that's for Mercedes?
relief from your tax debt problems. Larson will get you the absolutely best possible resolution. You won't have to worry about your
that's tough.
or losing your house.
It's not tough if somebody's looking. If somebody's looking, they buy it. Because I tell the damn thing, I swear to God.
It's a pain in the butt to like keep it running and everything like that. I'll help you out there. Yeah.
Take it on a cruise.
I'll park in my garage.
That's
all bells and whistles, all those.
Everything is, well, there's one thing it doesn't have, heads-up display.
Organization I endorse on my referral list at referralist.com.
It's truly, well, here's the deal. Like I said, the window sticker works again was like months. And here's the thing, it's got 12,000 miles, and no one will ever buy this cheaper, ever. They won't. They will not buy it.
You're at 78?
Oh, I'm going to go down from that. That's what I'm saying. I'll go down.
Sounds like an ideal car for like a car.
That's a lot of money for a car, right? It's only for someone who wants a Mercedes and they want the S550 and they're going to buy one. Why buy it? This is just like a brand new one.
Except there's no heads-up display.
I told them.
What is that?
It's just where it reflects on your windshield.
Oh, you see your
people. A lot of people don't care about it. I mean, it's a nice thing to have, but it doesnth have it.
Is it the type of car that?
For the money you're saving, you can fucking have it.
Does it have AC?
They only in the front. It's got mood lighting. I mean, so mood lighting.
Does it read your mood and then
after dinner mood lighting?
No, you change the theme of the lighting. I swear to God. It can be masculine, feminine. It can be party.
They've got like date night.
Everything changes with the. You can change all the colors in the moods.
It's got BG night. BG.
Look, I hate this. So I might just have a wholesaler write you a check since it's going to be.
I would do that. You know who I'd send it to? See if Bob will do something. See if he can get it sold for
Bob the gardener? Yeah, but he doesn't sell anymore, does he?
I think he does. He'll know. I bet you he's got a good way.
As if violence would somehow improve the prospects of peace. The U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, urging renewed talks between the Israelis and Palestinians, but not backing down on the U.S.
Should lease it out to Jody and have her become an Uber driver.
Jody driving.
That's a good idea. Then she could get her license.
How about that homeless lady? Give her a Mercedes instead of that old piece of crap we're going to give her.
You know what? You were just saying last hour, what, should we just go home and not do anything? I think Dan just hit it right. We give the homeless lady that your Mercedes
and call it good.
Call it over, and she could become an Uber driver.
Go out with a bang. No, the Uber reviews for her,
Didn't I change your life?
Oh, by the way, the woman we were going to give the car to was also wanted. Okay? Wanted.
The other one you were telling me about?
Yeah. She's wanted by the cops.
Yeah. Well, wanted for what?
Get 0% APR financing for
Urinating in public. Grand Theft Auto. No, urinating in public.
Really?
Edge and Escape. Hurry, offer it
This is George Costanza.
Did she
You're
volunteer
Mike
that?
Tyson.
Health club.
She volunteered that information, or you found that?
Hey, what'd you get rid of that for? Hey, is there any listeners out there that want to give a schizophrenic lady a ride to Fort Collins?
No, they got to drive. She's in Fort Collins. They got to drive a gift card up there.
Just ask. Just ask the listeners.
No, from Fort Collins.
Where are you going when you get out of here, Bob?
Why not get them something?
It's right on the way.
I've got a meeting. It's got a meeting in Denver.
Going to my timeshare.
Yeah, he's going to Vail to his timeshare.
Fort Collins is between here and there.
Would you mind if she stayed with you this year at the timeshare? New family tradition?
Colorado businesses for more than 20 years. Alliance Leasing will get you into
Everybody talks
all the
game
outfit
until
you
it's
need
their
at the
turn,
lowest
right?
delivered price. I'm a finance guy.
Now, are they driving her to Fort Collins, or are they driving the gift card? She lives in Fort Collins.
Either way, I guess. She lives in Fort Collins.
She lives in Fort Collins.
Brent Shiloh for top of the hour. Now you're misunderstanding.
She lives in Fort Collins.
She is
You just need someone to bring the gift card.
She is in a parking lot at Home Depot up there, has no gas. I just need someone
Bob will be there.
drop the gift, pick the gift card up here, and take it to her. That's it. Why aren't you making a thing?
It's right. It's even closer than Fort Lupton.
We have listeners all the time. If we put the word out, somebody can help.
What happens when the someone never finds her and uses the card, and then calls, and then she calls back and says we never got home?
I agree.
That's exactly what
Let me run it up there.
Hey, will someone stop by the station and grab this $100 gift card and bring it to a homeless lady? Now that's not an opening up.
Might as well just give the guy beer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about them.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Can you imagine? You're going to have 40 homeless people show up to deliver it.
But you could qualify by putting a sticky note on and say,
Hey,
for her.
do you have any cash you want brought up there at the same time?
Would they even let you do that over the phone?
Hey, do you have any gifts you want us to bring up to
I'm
Fort
gonna make a
Collins?
call.
You can get your gas out of the car.
Now, how do I find her again? She's in row 8.
I couldn't find her. I looked everywhere.
Then the next thing you'll know is, oh, they delivered the gift card and he bumped me. Now my other shoulder hurts. Let me get John Fuller back on.
One-click posted your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology.
You guys, it is a Christmas season.
No wonder 80% of employers who post on
I find a guy, you could be a gift card deliverer.
That's my favorite, yeah. Hey, you got any cash going up that way either? Be happy to deliver whatever goods you have.
2 for 1. Gift card.
We had a lady call one time on a plumbing company, said they were out 2 weeks before, and she had a roll of cash on her water heater that was now missing.
On her water heater.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, why don't you act before tax reform? There's a reason with Ideal Home Loans. Brent, what's happening?
Well, Tom, you know, we've got a lot of things going on this week. One, obviously the vote on tax reform. The House scheduled to vote tomorrow, possibly the Senate tomorrow afternoon, more likely Wednesday morning. And so this is likely going to send a lot of optimism through the markets. You are going to see the Dow off to the races, and as we've talked about so many times, that is likely going to bring mortgage rates up. But we also have a full plate of economic data on what is likely going to be a light trading week as well. So this impact could be bigger felt than normal. So for anybody looking to do anything, rates right now still sitting at 3.875% with an APR of 4.050, but not likely to stay in the threes for a whole lot longer.
And this is the deal. Whenever the economy does great, people start investing more, and that what makes the rates go up. And Brent keeps an eye on this. In fact, you know, there is no risk for refinancing or buying using money from Ideal, because if you use Ideal Home Loans, they're direct mortgage lenders, and rates go down, they will refinance you free of charge. You just pay the normal prepays, you know, but nothing from the lender except the you know, your prepaid, as I said, the taxes and insurance and stuff. Okay. So, if you need more information and you want to get started, idealhomeloans.com or 303-867-7000. That's 303-867-7000. Deborah, what's going on with you? Deborah, what's happening?
Oh, hi. Thank you for taking my call. I'm trying to get my washing machine fixed. It's a newer washing machine.
And what's the problem? Why can't you just call and get it fixed? Is it under warranty?
It is. It's got an extended warranty.
How old is it?
2 years old. They have been out.
Oh. They're attempting to fix it. They just can't fix it.
No, because parts are delayed. So I went to the store to talk to a store manager.
And what store is this?
Sears.
And is it what kind of an appliance?
Kenmore washing machine.
Okay. So go ahead. You went to the store, and what happened?
And the manager wouldn't even talk to me.
Are they trying to chase off their last 3 customers? What is wrong with Sears?
What do you mean he wouldn't talk to you?
Well, I went into the store to see if somebody
What
could
do you mean he wouldn't talk to you?
replaced.
He wouldn't talk to you, meaning what? He just...
No, the salesperson called for the store manager to come talk to him.
Oh, and he said no.
And they had them do the same legwork I've been doing. I've had a repair person out here since the end of October, 4 times.
Don't we have someone at Sears we can help? Suzanne, don't we have someone that listens to us at Sears?
I think so. Dad has a connection there.
I thought we had a connection where they cut through the mustard.
We do.
What is wrong with it, by the way?
Well, they've replaced parts. It won't even work.
They suck, man.
They
Sears sucks.
Well, they're
in my opinion, they're the most horrible company out there now.
What's weird is they used to be one of the best.
They sold off their only stuff that, I think they sold the Kenmore name too, by the way, but then they sold, what were the tools called? You can go buy Craftsman anywhere now.
Craftsman had some good tools. Deborah, we can try to contact them for you. I can't believe the manager wouldn't talk to you. You have a washer that's 2 years old that simply doesn't work. It's that easy to sum it up.
And she paid for a warranty that apparently means nothing.
Correct. And they told me I could rent a wash machine, and they would reimburse me $50.
Now, where the hell do you go rent it? Like Rent-A-Center?
So, but did they say they were going to send other people out to fix it?
Correct, but the parts are on back order. Now it'll be January.
That's ridiculous. But I like the offer, though, that they would let you rent one and pay for it. I mean, that's better than nothing.
They would pay $50 towards it.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, this is stupid. Okay, we need to hound them for this, okay? We're going to give it to one of our hounders.
Daff just texted, said we have a connection there.
Good, thank you, Daff. What does she do? Wait a minute. If she's texting, why is she off?
I think she's picking up kids at the airport.
Oh, kids at the airport.
I thought her kids just left.
Okay, we got Pete Scheinberg. This is Mr. Dino himself, actually. We call it Mr. Dino's bath. Pete, does this deal have to do with those used tubs?
Yes.
Slightly used. Let me explain something to people. You know, Pete heard me complaining about walk-in tubs for elderly people. And I said they were just basically abusive. They are. They price them at 18 grand or more. And we found, especially Bentley Baths, one of the worst companies. I mean, you know, he touts himself as some advocate for the elderly, and what he's doing is fleecing them, in my opinion. These things are ridiculously priced. He's not the only one. They're all doing it. And then Pete says, you know, Tom, this is weird, but when people are older and they get these walk-in tubs, they don't use them all that long because they're either going to go to a nursing home or move out, or some of them are deceased. And almost no one moving into a home wants a walk-in tub unless they're elderly. And so many of them he's called to come and get. And some of them he pays a few bucks for. Some of them they give to him just to remove them. And he's saying, Tom, could we do this as a deal for people who want walk-in tubs? They can get them really cheap, because if I get them free, I'll pass them along. And if they want me to install them, I'll just charge for installation. Or if whatever I paid for it, I'm not looking to make money on the tub. I'll just install it for them. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. Now, we already did one already. Didn't your phone ring off the hook?
It rang off the hook. I got a few more, and Tom, the ones I got are these tubs that are truly selling for $22,000. $8,000.
I know.
And we could install them for next to, I mean, for...
No, for a fraction, let's face it. And not only, and it depends on how it's being installed. That's why we can't give you an exact installation cost, but I'll tell you this, it's going to be phenomenal. And if you don't like it, just don't do it. I mean, call them and find out. So how many do we have now stocked up?
I have 3.
Three.
Really nice ones.
Isn't this cool? And if you want to get rid of one, call Pete as well at Mr. Dino's. Pete, I think we struck something here. I really, really do. Mark, this is brilliant. I mean, it was his idea. So if anyone wants to get them removed, call Mr. Dino's. And if you want to buy one for a smoking deal and just pay installation, unless, of course, like once in a while, Pete, didn't you have to pay for some of them, or are most of these donated?
I paid for most of them, but they're not. I mean, it's not nearly what they.
Like a few $100. Here's the deal: call Mr. Dino and find out what he's got, and give me some feedback. And if you have a used one or one that in a home you don't want, you're moving in and somebody moved out who's elderly, give us a call. But give him a call right now directly, 303-404-9800. Wouldn't that be a great gift for one of your elderly relatives? 303-404-9800. Thanks. Let's talk to, I appreciate that very much. Let me know the outcome, okay? Christine, what's happening with you? Christine?
Yes, hello.
Hello. What's going on?
Well, my husband and I are living in a house in Loveland that we're renting.
Yes.
We've been here since August. We have a 1-year lease.
Okay.
The first thing, the roof started leaking, and we took pictures. We called the owner. They came over and looked at it. It was leaking right by the duct.
Here's what I want to tell you, Christine, okay? I want to get right to the point when it comes to rentals.
Okay.
It used to be tenants had no rights at all. You have some rights right now, and there are minimal standards for habitability. Minimal.
Okay.
If they don't meet those minimal standards, here's the only problem. You can't make them fix it, but you can get out of the lease.
Okay.
If they refuse to fix it.
Okay.
Now, some of the habitability standards would be basic things like plumbing and heating, and I believe, Mark, are infestations covered under basic habitability standards? I think if you have a, can we get Brandon on at all? Is he around, Brandon Siglian? Let's try to get our tenant landlord attorney on to specifically talk about it. You have mold, I see on the computer here. You also have mice infestation. Now, the roof leaking would not probably be part of the, believe it or not, part of the habitability thing. They don't get into that unless it was like a major gusher.
And understand, all this is going to mean, even if she does fall under it, is the fact that she can evict herself.
Right.
That's it. You can't make him fix anything.
No, but many of them will if it gets right down to it and you start quoting the habitability laws. Let me just say this, Christine, because we don't have time for every story, but I do have time for a list. You said roof, mold.
Right.
Okay, so let's do it like this. Roof, mold, mice, what else, if we made a list?
Well, just the mice are pretty infested and all the...
How bad is this infestation?
It's really bad. The feces are everywhere. They're like in the corners. They're in the ducts.
Okay.
Why not get a cat? And I'm not saying go other ways, but really, why not get something in the meantime?
How do you clean it up? How do you clean it up?
Oh man,
it's horrible.
It's horrible. But you know that's really your responsibility to clean that. If you moved in without demanding it, you can't do it now. You can't. That's something you should have demanded before you moved in.
Really?
Yeah, because once you move in, they don't have to come and clean your house for that. But you should get it done. Now, what about the mold? How bad is it?
Well, we're not seeing. It's not visible. But my doctor, I've been sick since like September, October, and my doctor said you're having mold issues.
All right, so hold on. Do you see mold?
No.
Christine, doctors, let me explain something to you. Doctors will say mold 99% of the time, because 99% of the time we're all around mold of some kind. It's impossible to live in a home without mold. Now, is it toxic mold? Not always. Is it? Sometimes it is. Is it Is the mold so terrible you can't breathe? Sometimes, but rarely. The thing is, when I have found when doctors don't know what to blame for upper respiratory problems, they say, "Oh, you have a sensitivity to mold," and they'll say other things like that because they really don't know. Now, yes, we might have sensitivities to mold, but if you don't even see mold, Christine, I mean, this is like the worst thing to try to get a landlord to fix, because really, in the opinion of mold mitigators, and I'm just going to say this, here's the true belief: that you should knock down the house, take away all the dirt, bring in new dirt, and start over. That's the only way true environmentalists would be satisfied, who I call them mold sickos. They believe mold is the worst scourge on humanity. What they don't realize is all of our relatives who lived 90s and 100, they had dirt cellars with more mold in their homes than any of us have ever had in our lives. It's amazing to me why this mold has latched on to be such a scourge, really. It's amazing to me. Now, I'm not telling you to ignore it. I'm not telling you you don't have any. But it's not ever as bad as people say. I can track it to when it started gaining popularity in America. Do you want to know who the person was responsible for that? He started making noise, and he was pretty famous. Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon?
Yep. Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon.
On The Tonight Show. Yep.
Why?
Because he had the biggest civil case at that time and brought that to people's attention.
I did not know that.
And everybody freaked out. Look it up. You're looking it up? All right. Now, Christine, I don't mean to say you don't have an issue. I'm going to tell you what to do about it, okay? And how to do it. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. The Raleigh House has teamed up with the Troubleshooter Network for a community service that is helping so many people. I am so happy people are using it to the extent they are. We've established this line, this hotline, I call it. It's not like an emergency crisis line. That's not what it is. It's an informational line. Why? Because it's sorely needed. You see, if you wanted to know about rehabilitation or treatment for an addiction, who are you going to ask? What are you going to ask? You got to call different numbers for different information. Here's what we have done. The Raleigh House established a number that you can call, and they will answer any questions you have about addiction. From what is addiction, what are the most common things being abused, like alcohol, prescription drugs, painkillers, illegal drugs, meth, cocaine, whatever it is. They'll answer. How do I know someone has a habit and you notice certain things going on? They'll counsel you. How do I approach an addict? How do I get them to go in for treatment, or to talk to you, or to talk to anyone? This is not a sales line. This is not a high-pressure line. This is a line for information. What does it cost? Does insurance cover it? How long does it take? How can I know someone does have an addiction? What if I just suspect it? What about my wife? What about my daughter? What about my son? All these questions. They will answer anything you want about addiction. I thought this is time for people to just take a breath and take their first step toward helping someone, because addiction will never, ever go away without help. Don't wait another day. 720-893-5559. Finally, one place you can call for caring, loving people to answer all of your questions. 720-893-5559.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
A couple of problems both on and off the freeway system.
7.1 million. What's that? 7.2 million. That's what Ed McMahon settled.
He got that much money.
Yep. And since then, there's been
What year was that?
32 million.
When was that? What year?
Like 82? No, 2002. It's not old at all. Or at least good.
Really?
But the big one, I saw this deal on the one in Texas, 32 million they got.
But that was a home builder.
See, Texas.
No, it was most of our insurance companies.
Oh, no,
those
it's
Texas
random.
contractors, I swear to God, if you have a flood or any water damage in your home,
The mitigation costs.
they basically say rebuild your home.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Or I've done jobs down there where their mitigation was literally they put a box fan in a bedroom and charged $30,000 for it.
Oh no, they're ridiculous.
You know, I mean,
Ridiculous.
gouging.
Insurance companies are afraid, man. Some of them exclude mold.
We called, they won't allow it.
By mistake.
No.
Won't allow
Wouldn't even
what?
give us the time of day.
What are you talking about?
Bob paid for a gift card over the phone in Fort Collins, near the Home Depot.
Oh, that sounds like a big time.
What's that one?
The store's got to be going, you know.
Yeah, it sounds.
There's no way to do that.
Somebody did what?
Right for ripoff.
Bob offered to buy the King Super gift card in Fort Collins over the phone, so nobody would have to drive to give this homeless lady. But Tom, couldn't we just put the word out? Hey, if there's a listener by chance in the next day or two going from here to Fort Collins,
Yeah, and then they take it.
they can pick it up. If by chance, yeah, I do really think they would, though, Tom. I guess you're right. I guess people would be that.
Let's tell them we're sending some cash down to Lovin.
Do you want to take a drive together?
No. Oh, that'd be a good time.
What do we do for this lady?
Go to
I
Fort,
told
the
her.
real nice lunch place there.
Can't mail it.
Can't mail it because she doesn't have a mailing address.
Well,
What about finding somebody that's
Row
willing
eight.
to receive
They're
our
afraid somebody is going to.
Home delivery guy.
Call Home Depot up and tell them to go out to Roy delivery car 15.
Herb is his name. I've never dealt with him.
Herb and Crystal. Herb. He's Herb's delivery service or something. He's on.
Oh, he'd bring it.
But if he's going up there, I wouldn't want to take a special trip.
I don't think we've asked anything out of him for a long time.
Yeah, ask him. Ask him. Tell him I
Tell him.
because we really haven't asked a lot of him lately. And he's on there. How do we say it? Just is.
It'd be funny if we never saw Herb again.
Just for that.
Just gone.
Last time we heard of him,
No. I mean, like, literally,
Row
he
eight.
disappears.
He was Roy.
Cops show up.
Hey, did anyone ever see that TV series? I just got finished binging both seasons, but it's over. They're not making it again. It was canceled. Called The Return.
Return? What was it on, Netflix or what?
ABC.
The Return.
It's a great two seasons, and it has somewhat of an ending, so it didn't leave you. I was going to be pissed if it left me up in the air because they stopped producing it.
I just watched
like House
one
of
called
Cards.
Vice Principal.
And then Designated Survivor, I watched.
Was that one
See
good?
Ozark?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for the next
Nothing
season.
beats Ozark.
Is it great?
Dude, unbelievable.
It's a great cast, too.
Don't you like Ozark? That guy is the
Bateman.
greatest scaredy cat in the world.
Jason Bateman, man.
He's the greatest when it comes to being nervous.
Oh, fantastic.
He's really good in the comedy.
He's underrated, man.
Yeah.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Frank Duran, the real estate man. Do you do better than Frank Duran, the realestateman.com? I asked him I said, hey, I might be looking for a place. And I'll tell you, I've been inundated in a good way with all kinds of stuff. He even went and got expired listings or listings that come off and he can go approach them. Can you imagine how cool that is? And save yourself that money. Plus, he knows how to find stuff if you're looking. He also knows how to find buyers if you're selling. First of all, he stages your home and does everything for you and then does a great job. 303-920-1622. 920-1622. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. And let's see here. Christine, here's what you need to do. When you have issues with a lease, rather than going through here and saying, this is good, this isn't, this is good, what you do is just basically write a letter. Put it in writing. And an email plus writing, or just email, it doesn't matter, as long as you can document it. And then you write that you have noticed this problem, this problem, this problem. I would talk about the mice infestation and the roof leaking or whatever. And I would say, unless it's fixed within a certain number of days, you are going to start proceedings for a constructive eviction. And Just let him ruminate on that a few days and see if he fixes it. If he doesn't, then you're going to have to decide if you want to actually do that. Because it may not, I'm just going by your word, the mice infestation may not be enough to violate the habitability standards. Certainly mold unseen is not going to be. It's just not. And I don't know how bad the leak is, but it better be pretty bad. I just think that, have you talked to the landlord?
Yes, we have, and he came over and he actually revealed, the extent of the mice infestation, and he saw like previous traps and everything.
What did he say he's going to do?
He didn't say he's going to do anything about it. They're in the ducts. He said, do you want me just to clear out the ducts?
He asked you that? He asked you that? Yeah. Would say, yeah, you want him to do that. Try to get him to do whatever you can. But my gut feeling, Christine, and I hate to tell you this, but my gut feeling is you don't have a strong case for evicting yourself. It just doesn't sound that bad. It has to be pretty bad. That's why it's important, people, to get references from other tenants or look around really well before you move in.
And a couple good mousers, man. I go back to this. I guarantee they'll get rid of that mouse problem.
I know. Just having a cat there does it. Roger has an opinion on life insurance. I don't know if I asked about opinion on life insurance. Go ahead, Roger.
Yes, this is Roger. I'm paying $300 a month to MetLife. Well, they changed their to Bright Life Financial.
Oh, you want an opinion? Okay, yeah.
Yes, I want an opinion.
Okay.
Because they scared me last year. They sent this. If you continue, I'm 79. 80 in October.
Okay.
Under guaranteed assumptions of 3% hypothetical rate of return, your policy will remain in force until age 80. So that's
so wait a minute. So Roger, you have not been making payments?
Oh yes. I have them automatically deducted.
How long have you been paying on this policy?
Well, since 1970, because my policy ended at where I worked. When you're 70, it ends, and then I was happy to get insurance through MetLife because I've been through open heart surgery.
But wait, did you switch and get a new one?
Oh yes. Yes, the policy was through where I worked at JC.
I understand that, but you don't have that policy anymore.
Oh no.
Let's just talk about the new policy. When did you get that one? What year? When was that? Hello?
We lost him.
I hope we didn't lose him already. We were just talking about life insurance.
29.
Okay, there. You're back. You're back. Thank God. Okay, so it was what year?
Well, it was 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. So for 8 years that's all I need to know. For 8 years you've been paying this $300 a month.
Well, no. 229 I started out at.
Okay.
And then
is this term insurance?
It's not term insurance.
It's whole life?
It's universal life guaranteed.
Okay, I got you. What's your death benefit, sir?
$50,000.
Okay, so what is your question? Because it doesn't sound like you got a bad deal.
Well, my
for your age,
I increased the premium to $300. I had to fill out forms for that.
Why did you want to do that?
Well, because they scared me. They said that I wasn't going to have enough policy, enough money in the policy. See, they're investing that insurance that I pay.
Hold on a second. It doesn't make sense to me. If you have a level premium life insurance, you always have enough money to pay death benefit. Did they say you had to increase your premium?
Well, they recommended that I do, to keep the policy in force, yes.
But then you have a different kind of policy that I'm aware of. You got it 8 years ago. You were 70-something then, right? So
yes, I was right at 70. I mean, that's when I took out the new.
That's why it's so expensive. But I don't understand why you have to pay more. I just don't understand it, Roger. I don't. Okay.
When I'm 80 or beyond, hopefully.
Is this adjustable yearly or quarterly or I don't understand the contract.
No. It's not adjustable. The premium.
So what are you asking? What are you asking? What are you asking me, Roger?
Well, I'm asking about did I do the right thing to increase it? Because
I don't know. I don't know at this point. All I know is this: what you're paying is not unbelievable for your age and for the death benefit. However, if I were you, Roger, I don't think I don't think you should become the banker at all, because you're well into your 70s now and you're going to be 80. I think, though, if you need an expert to look at it, or to give you some advice, I think Joe is really good at insurance and could give you an expert opinion, or Compass Insurance could. Even though this is not their bailiwick, they know a lot about it. What you really need to do is have somebody analyze this to make sure you're not overpaying. That's really, in your case, you don't want to overpay too much. You want to just keep that $50,000 death benefit, right?
Yes.
So we need someone to run an analysis on that. And they're going to need information like, like the contract and stuff. If you could email us as much information as you can, we will have some people look at it for you. Here's what I need. If we can get the policy, that would be good. A premium notice, any of those notices he got about the increase, and anything like that, maybe we can run an analysis to exactly see what he has. I'm not even sure what you have right now, and we want to help you with that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, this is for Plumline, and it has to do with sump pumps. If they don't have one, and they don't even have a pit, they were told they need one, what happens now?
I can send one of my supervisors out there to take a look.
But what is involved? If they don't even have one, how do you know where to put it? Where do you put it?
Well, again,
that's where you need somebody to look at it.
Yeah, we need to take a look at it, and we'd place a pit.
But you guys literally,
a perimeter drain, an interior perimeter drain.
You would install the pit itself?
Yes, the pit and the drain system.
Have you done that? Is that common, that people that have no sump pump at all get one installed?
We probably do, on average, a couple of those a week, or maybe one a week.
Where they never even had one?
Right.
Why didn't they have one to begin with? The builder didn't see the need, or tried to get away with it?
Typically it's the older homes that don't have one.
But why all of a sudden do they need one? The water table change or drainage?
It could be a number of both of the above and more things, yes.
Is the sump usually for groundwater or surface groundwater?
It'll help with both.
And underground water?
Yes.
All right. So they have their own. By the way, they have their own division for that as well.
But yeah, call our main number, or what?
Well, just call this one, 303-586-1086.
Let them know what you're looking for, and we'll send somebody out free of charge to give you an estimate.
All right. And let's talk about stem cell therapy while we're on a roll here, because I love recommending Centeno Schultz. The reason I love recommending them is because I have had much to do with stem cell research, and I have found that there are a lot of people passing themselves off as stem cell therapy, and they're not stem cell therapy. So, to make a long story short, you can't ship stem cells, so anyone who ships in fluids, they're not living stem cells. And I'll debate them, I'll bet them $100,000. You're not going to get it. But here's the deal. That doesn't mean there's no benefit, okay? But it's not the same benefit as living stem cells. If it's derived from stem cells, they have growth factors and other things. But what I prefer are living stem cells, especially if you're going to call yourself stem cell therapy. At Centeno Schultz, they harvest living stem cells from your bone marrow and then re-deliver them to you in a guided injection. That means they use imagery to guide the injection. So insist on MDs. Centeno Schultz has MDs, doctors, and registered nurses. They have real living stem cells. Insist on all of that. And also insist on imagery when it comes to delivering the shots. And what else I love is that they have a 14,000 patient data bank at that clinic alone. Okay, now some of these people say, oh yeah, we have thousands of patients, and what they're talking about are a bunch of offices all over the country that use the same name. We're talking about one clinic that has done that much over the years. And if you want that expertise, I urge you to call before surgery so you can find out about sore knees or hips or backs or shoulders or hands, and most ACL tears that have been repaired. Call them, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201.
from the Fox Business Network. A few deals to tell you about.
What's that?
What was that noise?
I was trying to decline a call.
Oh, let me see what it is. Sound like a kid.
Here's my daughter. I was trying to decline it. And,
did she say Dad?
Yeah, she said, hi, Dad.
Oh.
She's 26.
Oh, she sounded like a little girl.
Have you seen a lot of home inspectors calling for sump pump? They'll go to a house and say, oh, you really need a sump pump here.
Occasionally we do, but typically it's somebody having issues with water and drainage, and as neighborhoods develop or new developments go in,
older stuff.
Yeah.
Home Builders Sentiment Index rising to the highest reading in 18.
What is it doing halfway?
With the Fox.
What's it doing?
How much do you think one share of that stock is?
I don't know what.
300,000. One share.
People make
It's like a Bitcoin.
Does it pay?
No, it's over the years it's killed.
Does it pay a dividend?
I don't know if it has a dividend or not. So
What do you think it has?
22% this year.
The price?
No wonder 80%
You buy like a 50-cent
quality candidate through the site in just one
If he dies, do you know what it would be worth if he dies? It'll crash.
It probably dropped.
I think psychologically, come on, it would have such an immediate. It would go down so far quickly, but then it might come up because of the real deal. But you know how people are emotional about it. The stock market does that, man. So
in 1965, it was $11 each.
They've never split. That's the thing about it.
What's Bitcoin right now? Like 17,000 or something?
I got in at 200.
I got a buddy that did.
I got in for $1.
Well, try to get your money out. That's
He bought it at 200. $3 million in.
Okay, so Mark had a good point. Try to get his money.
Yeah, I know.
Try to liquidate.
Buy that house in Florida.
In fact, he should, because he's already made money. Why would he want to stay? Because, what do they say? Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered.
It could.
Yeah, that's what Kramer said.
They say it could go to $1 million.
For one coin. That is the most ridiculous thing.
The people who say that are the people who own the Bitcoin.
Yeah. Dude, there's no backing. It's not like there's a goal.
There's nothing.
It's air.
Okay, what's behind our dollar?
It's government. The United States government. Okay,
Exactly right.
you know what? That means something.
It does.
Of course, you don't have a U.S. You don't have a government.
Of course it does, but originally it was backed by gold, is my point.
Yeah, but that's not even important. What's important is it's set by it's backed by the government, and the Fed keeps some control on it. You don't have any of those controls. It's not an unregulated currency. That is.
Yeah.
I think
That's what makes it scary.
Should make a Bitcoin. Amazon.
They could Bitcoin.
What's that?
But if they get a coin,
Okay.
they could always back it by their share.
Mark, so what do you want to do about that? You said no previous.
Oh, I'm just done with it. Just don't do any more, then you'll get back to me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's not talking.
I mean,
No, I thought we had something done, and I think I just know him. He's found a way to bypass
what?
him spending some more money.
Buy those spots from approval.
I don't think he'd do that.
Research, learn about the blockchains and how those work. And
He's banking on that if it's actually working.
there's a lot of people trying to buy it right now because they think we're still on the.
I don't think he can do that.
The uptick, but
Even back in the day, he wasn't even close to that.
Oh,
was he?
okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Tom, you have a question. Go ahead, Tom. What is your question, sir? How can I help you?
Hey, Tom, real quick. I've been trying to call the Be Your Own Banker guys.
Yeah?
And,
what do you mean trying to call?
It just keeps going into voicemail.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. I've been doing it for 2 weeks when I heard you guys...
Wait a minute.
That's odd.
We got to double-check that phone number.
We got to double-check that number, man. Let me get that again. That's ridiculous. One thing I tell people, you better be ready for calls or just get out. Get out. Don't bother advertising with me because we blow up your phones. BecomeTheBanker.info, of course, is that video along with signing up for the seminar. But then... you called 779-6600?
Yep, that's it.
And It's got to be answered. But did you leave a message?
No, I never did. I
Okay.
just had a simple question.
Okay, what is your question? I'll try to get it. I'll try to get it answered. But I'm going to note that about the number and make sure there's someone that gets back to you. But to their defense, you didn't leave a message because they do follow up. What is your question though, Tom?
My question is, I worked for a nonprofit for many years, and I've got a 403B, which is their equivalent of 401k. Can I roll that money over into this product?
Okay, you will not escape the penalty. How old are you?
52.
Okay, you will have to pay the penalty. Now, you may say, oh my God, that's too much, but I believe in some circumstances, I don't know yours, I don't know your tax bracket, I don't know how much is in it, but if they run an analysis, they would truly tell you if it's worth it or not. In some cases, it would not be worth it. In other cases, it is worth it.
I wouldn't do it in a million years.
Well, okay.
Personally, me only.
All right, but I have found cases where it absolutely helped people because they rolled it over, they were able to borrow for real estate, they were paying themselves back interest, and that 10% penalty was nothing compared to what they were able to do.
Okay, I'm going to take something back I just said then.
However,
if you don't have the cash and you need the cash, I don't think it matters anyhow.
Yeah, of course it doesn't, because you'd have to take it anyway. But I would say that it could be heavily penalized if in most cases, I'm saying this, not them, I would say in most cases, I can't see where it does work, in most cases.
Well, and I think that makes sense because right now
But they've had people do it.
Is great.
They've had people do it, so, they'll be honest with you. They're not going to talk you into doing something if they don't think it'll work. But you have to use common sense.
What kind of return are you getting right now? I'm curious on that 403.
Oh, my God. I'm at, probably this year, I'm waiting for my December statement, but the last statement I received, I was up 12% for the year.
Yeah, my guy doesn't believe in my guy doesn't believe in taking advantage of a great market.
That was the funniest conversation ever.
Well, you see, when the market's up, we play it safe, and when the market's down, you lose. So, let me get this straight. I don't capture the great market, but I get all the disadvantages of the bad market. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. Anyway, people make mistakes, right? 303-713-8255. Josh, what's going on with you, Josh?
Hey, I just need some advice on wood floors.
Okay.
That are dog friendly. We have just like the standard oak that's in a normal house now, and
there are no wood floors that are dog friendly. That's the honest truth. The engineered pre-finished ones are stronger. They're really good.
They make an LVT that Simply Floors Inc. sells.
That's what I'm getting.
But it's made for dogs not to slide on. It looks just like any hardwood you want.
Wait, the most important thing is not to scratch.
Well, but really, it stops them from sliding in, people for that matter.
Oh, if you were talking about just sliding, yeah, you can get all kinds of rustic distressed wood that won't slide. But if you want that kind of look, that's different. Are you talking about slip sliding, or are you talking about snail?
No.
You're talking about scratching.
We're doing a hole downstairs, so I don't know. I'm a little worried of what luxury vinyl tile would look like because it's going to be a whole main floor. The advantage of the #1 red oak is you can refinish it.
They do have some really beautiful LVT. You might want to look at them.
Well, he's also got top-notch hardwood too. I'd call Buddy and ask him.
But I would not go anywhere else. So, Buddy Mitchell, man, you're going to be. Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't shop, but you're going to be astounded at his deals.
What do you have there right now?
Well, I'm in we just have the standard red oak that comes in.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to have ours sanded down and redone.
You're going to have them redone?
Yeah.
One thing that I wish I didn't do, but except I don't like the lighter colors. My floors are darker and show everything as far as little specks that fall, or my kid's eating a tortilla chip and anything that falls down, you see it on a darker floor, even though they're beautiful.
Can you declaw a dog like you can a cat?
Oh!
God, that would be... It's so bad to do to a cat.
I'm just asking the question.
I'm sure you can. I think in North Korea they've been doing it for years.
No, they say it's bad to do to a cat, too. I don't know.
It's painful.
But, Josh, I would do simplyfloorsinc.com. Robert's got a comment on that homeless lady. Go ahead, Robert. If people were listening, she's living in her car. She said she's schizophrenic, and she's having, obviously, problems. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I just want to comment on that. I have a sister that's schizophrenic.
Yes.
My best friend has a sister that's schizophrenic. Normally, you cannot even carry on a normal conversation with them because they're so out to left field, like you were with this lady.
Well, she was making sense.
Now, remember why she called, though. Originally, she called because of her run-in in King Supers.
No, that was me, Mark. I told her to bring that up first since the attorney was waiting.
Oh.
She was clear on both her problems.
You cannot even carry on a normal conversation with her. They're so out.
But she wasn't out
And
that.
forget about trying to help them, especially a family member. They don't want any help from anyone because they think everyone's out to get them. So there's just no way this lady's schizophrenic. There's no way.
Well, why? Doesn't medication...
Yeah, but who would lie about that diagnosis?
Well, doesn't medication help?
Because she's trying to milk you guys and them and whoever she can.
That's possible.
So? Well, okay, it wouldn't be the first time that happened, but
it won't be the last.
I appreciate the heads.
Walk down Colfax and seen someone that's schizophrenic.
Well, yeah. I've seen a guy walk in. He's by himself. He walks into the diner and says, "I'll have separate checks." So, anyway, but boom. I shouldn't make fun, really. No, if you really, because think about that. If you make fun of any illness, why would this be any different? I shouldn't have done that. So, but in any case, you don't get to normal, he's saying, even on medication, which I find hard to believe. Then how would anyone function ever? I mean, medication has to do something for people. What about that movie, A Beautiful Mind? It was about a guy who came to grips with his schizophrenia literally, and he would talk to the people like, "Go away now, I'm working." No, don't you remember that movie?
I don't know that I saw it.
Oh, okay, look it up.
That, Mark.
He was a university professor, wasn't he?
Yes, and it was a true story. A true story.
Can't there be different levels of schizophrenia, just like any disease?
Probably. Do what? You just
different levels?
Yeah, of course there are. Yes, we have more coming up.
This report is brought to you by Panera
For the most
Bread.
part, the Highway Drive.
What was his name, that actor? I thought A Beautiful Mind was where the guy was the Russell Crowe. Why he figured out the mathematics?
No, that's Matt Damon. That was Ripley, Talented. Or Good Will Hunting.
Goodwill. Right. And he wasn't.
Well, I was thinking about that earlier. The gal, she sounded pretty with it, honestly, and we heard she was losing it in her car and sobbing uncontrollably. We didn't see any of that, when she called. So it's possible that she's just making it up to get
fleecing for the free gift card. Although she didn't ask for anything. We reached out with the gift card.
True.
I thought she was all over the place, though. She started out with the King Supers thing.
But that came just again to try to hit all the problems.
Yeah.
I wonder how long, like, Home Depot would allow you to stay in their parking lot, They probably don't care, right?
Walmart used to have that thing.
Walmart
where they allowed
still does.
RVs and campers
Overnight.
They don't want you to stay.
Well, I just find the next Walmart.
But
3 miles away.
But people,
I see them all the time at Walmart.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea to let transients do that. You don't have to look for a RV park if you're traveling. Truckers do it; they love it.
Yeah.
I guess it's never gotten out of hand.
Down in the Springs, they had these camps. You probably heard about them. There's tents and tents and tents.
Yeah, I visited one.
Where's that?
Down in the Springs.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, if you're
for homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little cities they create.
Little hippie camps, and they're literally just living off the grid under the freeway.
We brought one lady a bunch of candles down there.
I remember that.
About once a year they run them off.
She was just nutty as a damn squirrel, man.
Hey, Bob, is it not just getting into the teens? Sunday's supposed to be -5.
Wow.
That's nothing.
We need to help. What is the answer to homelessness, though? Really?
A lot of them don't want to. I think they like being homeless.
I think a lot of them in the Springs are these younger sort of. They're not doing this out of destitution.
I brought some around on Thanksgiving that were in their 20s, man. They seemed about as normal. They seemed exactly what he was saying, hippies.
Right.
Like they were all just jacked up.
They just wanted to drop. They're runaways, basically.
Runaways, yeah, and they got pot here.
Right.
They're Bernie Sanders voters.
Yeah, what the hell do they do when it gets -5 degrees, though?
They hit the
They thought Hillary was going to win, so they dropped out of society. They thought they were getting a free pizza, the whole bit. The worm turned.
No, a lot of them try to get in the shelters when it gets cold.
Yeah, and then those get maxed out, and they start lighting fires.
I don't think those younger ones try to get in the shelters, do you?
Probably not. Not as much.
Some of it's mental.
-5, sleeping on 10. Unless you got a good candle.
There's just, you know what, no matter how happy you get, there's always something to bring you down.
Can you talk about these things? Do you have time? Yeah. Okay. Give Pastor Lauren's number out. They can call him for info.
The truth. Remember back in the day, the cartoons would have the guy trying to hop on the rail, the hobos with the one stick with the bandana. Yep.
Those were good old days.
But they always look kind of happy if you think about it.
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, it was never winter.
What did that stand for?
Vagabonds.
I'm Tom Martino. Of all the things I've talked about today, this is the most important. Pastor Lauren at Bible East Baptist Church, I don't know if I get the name right, but he feeds the homeless. That's his sole, not his sole goal, but his, get it, soul goal? Huh? Say, you know, soul, get it? Okay. Anyway, it's not his sole goal, but it is one of his soul goals to save souls. He wants to feed the homeless. And by the way, you don't have to do anything except come to the church and avail yourself of his kindness. He does it for Thanksgiving. Now, here's what he needs for the homeless and for those in need. Turkeys. They're going to do some Christmas boxes for families. And you have to admit this guy's the real deal, Mark. This guy, he is. He has a full-time job.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And his wife and he, they work, plus they run this church, and every dime goes to help people. He just supports himself just enough to get by. You're not talking about fancy house and a fancy car. This guy is the real deal. So he wants to make Christmas stockings, and he wants to make food baskets for those in need. They need unwrapped Christmas gifts by the 23rd. Unwrapped. They need, like, things for stocking stuffers.
They also need Christmas wrapping paper, Tom, and tape and ribbon. Yeah,
stuff to wrap. And then they need turkeys and some other food items. Now, rather than just inundating them at the church, and it's, you don't have the address down, but it's up on 26th, right? And what?
Yeah,
do you remember the address?
Colorado Boulevard and...
Listen, we'll get you that information.
Call Pastor Lauren.
But right now, call him at 3 and ask questions, and he'll tell you where to bring the stuff and what he needs. If you want to do something really good for Christmas, do this. And if you really want to feel great, help and volunteer to deliver some of these baskets. 303-916-3246. Now, this guy has the true spirit. 303-916-3246. 303-916-3246.
And Tom, I have the address.
Okay, what is it?
It's East Denver Bible Baptist Church, and it's on 5500 East 26th Avenue in Denver.
Okay, yeah, because he moved to a new location there because the old one they were developing, and he got moved out. 5500 East 26th Avenue, and that's the name of the church is East. Is it?
East Denver Bible Baptist Church, okay. 5500 East 26th Avenue.
Thank you. And his number again is 303-916-3246. Okay, Brian, what's going on with you, Brian?
Hey, Tom, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so a couple of years ago, I signed up with, I was a truck driver, and I signed up with United Healthcare for their short-term disability.
Yeah.
And kind of the way that they sold it to us at the time, there was no guidelines or paperwork that seemed to go along with it, but the way that we were kind of sold it was, if you're ever...
and you understand that means nothing. The way it was sold means absolutely nothing. I mean, it does. I mean, you can tell me, but it doesn't mean anything. It truly doesn't. So many people say, "Oh, I bought this, and I thought this, and I thought that," and it's almost impossible to enforce anything like that. The best you could do is if an agent truly misrepresented a product, and you could prove it, literally prove it by recordings and stuff, you could possibly go to their errors and omissions coverage that they have. But in any case, you thought you were going to get one kind of coverage. And what are you not getting right now?
Well, what I found is my employer told me I can't come back to work for a couple of medical issues.
Yes.
So in dealing with United Healthcare, I've come to find out that basically it's like that commercial where they say they only cover you, during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. What exactly were you looking for? Were you looking for short-term disability?
Exactly. I was looking to get 60% of my pay for the couple of months that I'm going to be off
and
work.
And why can't you get it?
They have not technically and officially told me no, but they have strung the process out so long.
What is your disability?
My employer won't let me return to work just yet because of AFib and then issues with hyperthyroidism.
And you understand his stand, right?
I do. I understand.
What about workers' comp? Is it work-related?
I am going to try to go down that avenue, too. I think one of the things that I wanted to bring up...
I would go to Cliff Enton. It doesn't seem like that would be a, quote, short-term disability, though. Those seem more of long-term issues that were there for a while.
You might look into Social Security disability.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I wanted to do was, not that it costs a ton of money. I think it's something around $4, $5, $6 per week. But I wanted to let other employees out there know that whether it's United Healthcare or whether it's another company, just because you've signed up for it and it's something that you might be banking on, does not mean it's going to be there.
You're absolutely right, Brian. In fact, most disability insurance, they do everything they can not to cover you. Most of them do. PlumlineServices.com when they're not here, 303-586-1086. And don't forget to look for our public adjuster Paragon Services on our referral list at referralist.com.
Ever gotten a cold shoulder from a service tech? At Brother.
I know. I'm going to get a local.
We've talked about that already.
Either local or 800.
And the webpage. Well, I would get an 800 number.
It's only been here 7 years, right?
Actually, only been here a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
I started the business in Texas 7 years ago. But yeah, it's time.
We'll talk to you in the future about how you can expand it. Right? Yeah, sure.
Are you looking at hiring people, or are you not that
Not yet. I'll grow and need to go.
Okay, don't take off. No, I need to go over what we've got to do for you.
Okay, Bob.
Any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 first job post.
What's that?
Oh,
sweet.
Redeem this offer at Indeed.com.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't watch that Dallas game last night. It's awesome, man.
Did you watch the Steelers game?
Yep.
And then there's pretty poorly, too. Like, same situation. Like,
I won that one, too.
Denver had an off, right? A bye, or